Hi everybody, welcome to the video and welcome to a local thrift store. This is new to you guys and also new to me because I've never been to the thrift store. You see there I flashed some New Balance 990s. Those are the made in the USA. Women's size, so they should probably go for around 40 or 50 bucks. But this thrift store is located in a part of the city here which is called Almaden. And it's a little more of a older upscale side of town, and I've never really been. I've always had plans to come to this store, but I never have, just because their hours are just a bit odd. Just like the other thrift store, which I featured many videos ago, which is in Los Gatos. Very similar. This one's smaller. And so I'm seeing everything for the first time, just like you guys. And so far, it's looking pretty promising. I didn't go through any clothes. I was running a bit short on time, as because I had to get packages out, do pickups from the kids and all that. So I wanted to shoot down here really quick. This was right after a flea market. So, little small toy section here. Stay tuned to the end, because I get a big score at this. I didn't get a video of it, but I wasn't sure how they felt about filming it or anything, and they had some toys up in the front glass, and I didn't want the camera just like right in their face, because this is my first time here and I didn't want to make a bad impression. But let me know what you guys think. Let me go if you guys see anything here. I will have to go back and actually check the clothing. I'm not a big clothing person, but I will check the clothing to see, if it's viable. But nice, clean products. I mean, plush don't really go for that much, so most plush don't. But everything looks clean and well taken care of. And the prices weren't too bad. Those shoes were listed for $8, the New Balance 990s, which isn't bad. It's not a bad price for New Balance 990s. But they were running when I got to the front, they said they were running a half off sale, so I got them for $4, which is even better. And I'm pretty sure they had knowing that they had a sale, I probably should have picked up some more shoes, but I didn't. Lots of clothing, and with a lot of thrift stores, even Goodwill, Savers, clothing is always going to be their highest, taking up the most space, biggest volume, I guess I should say, and the same is true here. So looks like to the left is women's and to the right is men's, I believe. I'm pretty sure there'd be some good clothing product here. I just had, like I said, just limited time. Couldn't really go through everything. So I was just doing what I regularly resell, and that's hard goods. This is their little electronic area. And it's small. It's a small electronic area. I'm not gonna get enough electronics here to fill up my eBay store, but I might find a few gems here and there. Those the DVD blank DVDs, I think they were priced at $10, which is way too much. I think that was a 50 pack, so those resell for right around 15 or so. I saw these things like games and calculators. I didn't see any games in there, just calculators. And this over here says phones and tablets, but it was all cases. There weren't any phones or tablets in there. It was all cases for phones and tablets. So I was looking for tablets and phones, but there was nothing in there. And they have a glass case here, just like a Goodwill. They have a glass case with more higher-end items. It's a little a voice recorder, but from what I don't know why there were cassette tapes in there, because it was a digital recorder. It's kind of weird. But Olympus is okay. For $9, it's not okay. And even Sony ones are better. They tend to sell better and, you know, more profit. But even then, the profit is just right. Or what they're going to sell for is right around $15. Not too much. Well, let's get a really high-end one. And that was not a high-end one. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. As far as the cleanliness of products, and this is a really nice gaming mouse. Razer, it's spelled R-A-Z-E-R, is the company name, and that should be like a $15, maybe $20 mouse at the most. A Logitech, it's not one of the better Logitech Harmony remotes, but it's okay. If you get that one for $1, that'd be good. But like I said, what I was liking was just the cleanliness of everything. Everything looks, you know, if this stuff was worth it, everything looks ready to list. There's very little clean. I mean, the shoes I got just had the pebbles in them. I had to, you know, just pick out really quick. But that's no big deal. That's easy. But there was no major staining or anything like that. So really good. Almost ready to go for picture items. Ready to get listed items. So, and here we go to the kitchen pottery / glass area over here to the right. I saw some shoes right there, and just checking this little shelf really quick. Trying to get in as much, you know. Trying to get as much recon as possible on this place to see if it's something I could add into my rotation, and this would actually fit nicely into my sourcing runs, because this runs down one of the main streets where I go and hit a Goodwill, a Saver, actually a few Goodwills and a Savers. The street kind of takes me down a path down a dark path. No. Takes me down my thrifting route. So, which is great. This one would be a little bit more of a backtrack, but it's not that much. But it's looking okay. It's looking like there is potential here. This is an Arthur Court piece. I didn't even look it up. I really didn't feel like it was a worthy piece to go into my eBay store. But it's cool. Arthur Court is definitely a name to look out for, and I probably should have done a little bit more homework on it. And I might do some homework on it later and just see if it is worth it. So a little piece from Greece. It's a depiction of an ancient Greek sport of jumping over bulls. Kind of crazy. Kind of, in Spain or bullfighting, they don't really jump over the bulls, but in ancient Greece, that was a thing. All right. Nothing really that I'm going to pick up here in this area. I'm going to grab the mouse. I'm going to grab the shoes. And I'm going to grab 4 items from the glass. So, and I'll show you that. I'll show you that in the recap. Nice little silverware set there, by the way. As a matter of fact, I sold an Oneida USA Tribeca pattern, serving a 6 for, it was knives, spoons, forks, salad forks, dinner forks, teaspoons, tablespoons for $50. And I picked up the set for $8.59 at Goodwill. But let me know what you guys think. Drop comments down below. And we are going to cut into the recap next. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the recap. Now, we're going to go back to the little picture-in-picture. It should appear right over here on this side. The items that I picked up in a small, short little video. Smaller size. But Yeah, let me know what you guys think of that new thrift store. I think I'm definitely going to add it into my route. Yeah, partially because I did find some cool items there. And like I said in the video, everything was clean, very well taken care of. I still want to go back and definitely take a look at the clothes. While I'm not a big clothing reseller, I do chase profit. So if there are profitable clothing items there, I definitely would like to pick them up, to get them. So I want to check out what brand names are there, what types of clothing, athletic wear, evening wear, whatever it is. So I'm definitely going to go back, and I'll take you guys along for the trip to go through the clothes. Obviously, still looking out for anything else they might get. And it looks like they do get donations regularly. So while I was there were people making donations as well too. And whatever is donated basically just comes out to the floor. I did hear them say they do have people that look up items. I'm not sure what they're looking at. There were none of that. Some of them, sometimes you go to these like the local thrift stores and they'll have a printout of an eBay listing. This one didn't have that, so that's good. Good sign. I'm not sure what they're using to base their prices on. But I think I got some great deals, and let's jump to the video. I'm going to cut the video here just so I know where to put the tiny little video. And we're back. So the video should appear right over here. Let me scoot over a little bit. There's stuff in my way. Okay, it should appear right here now. And as you can see, you can already see the big hits right there, the Polly Pockets. Brand new in the package, the little clamshell design, $35 each. So I paid up for them. But there were 4 of them, brand new. I mean, the package, some of the packages were a little crushed. Not necessarily crushed, but kind of warped, probably just over time. But being brand new, they were from 1994, so they weren't the older ones. And these ones should go for around $100 each. So pretty good find right there for the Polly Pockets. I just couldn't pass them up. I mean, they're 90s stuff. Yeah, I like to look for 80s, 90s stuff. I like to look for, and being brand new in the package, I mean, you just can't beat that. They're easy to list. There's no cleaning involved. They just have to take the little price tag off, but that was that piece of cake. So really cool items. And when I saw them there, I was like, oh man, it was already, first of all, I was thinking like $35 each. I'm like, oh man, I better check these out really quick. And I quickly looked at them, and I was able to see there were the 1994 versions, and they still worth the pickup. And the Razer mouse, the Death Adder Elite gaming mouse. You guys know I love peripherals. I love mice, keyboards. I'm always looking out for them. At $5, it's not a bad price. Should get right around between $15 to $20 for this mouse. It was in great condition. Very minor cleaning on the bottom, but great condition. And then here are the New Balance shoes. New Balance women's. I think they were size 9 if I remember correctly. But 990s, made in the USA. That's what you're looking for. Those ones will command a bit of a premium. Great condition, as you can see. They have rocks in them. A little bit of dirt on the bottom, which I scrub out really quick with a brush. Otherwise, the uppers were in great condition. It's a great size. Great color. It's gray with the pink, and I think these should go for right around $40 to $50. So just a nice pickup right there. And now, what I want to talk about, quick talking point. To add into the video is regarding sourcing, and it's just the most important part of this whole business. I know I talk about the shipping side of things. Some people talk about sell-through rate, but you've got to find items that people want, items at a price point where you're going to make money on. Because if you're not making money, then you're going to fail. You're going to eventually run out of money if you're not making any money. So here's a great example of an item to pick up. A little bolo item. And around my area, I can get them for a few bucks. You do have to be cautious, though, because sometimes it looks like they work. So, and what I'm talking about are these Kindles right here. So it looks like they work. sometimes. You'll see on there, it'll see, when you pick them up, the batteries usually will be completely dead, and it'll say, please connect battery. And then you take it home, you plug it in, and it just never that screen just never comes off. Sometimes there are some tips and tricks to try to get the screen off to get it going again, but most of the time, from my experience, they don't work. So what I try to do is try to buy the newer ones, and the newer ones are the ones without the keyboards. And they're these smaller ones. This is a 6th generation. This one, same problem. It just said plug it in. I plugged it in, and it worked. And I've had great success with these ones, this style of Kindle e-readers. Now, I picked this up for, I think this was I got a big old bundle, so it was like $1 to $2 or so for this guy, and it sold for $35, and it sold within about 12 hours of me listing it. So, if you are chasing high sell-through rate, Amazon Kindle 6th generation is a great product. But like I like to teach you guys, or what I like you guys to learn eventually, is to find items that just will sell. And an example of an item that will sell, and it doesn't necessarily have a high sell-through rate, is not here on my fingertips right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, I got it here. So it is this baseball glove. Now, I got this at the flea market just recently. And the brand, so if you look up the brand name, you look up the model number, it's only going to give you one listing for $65 that recently sold. But in my opinion, that's not what this glove will go for. And so first of all, this brand is pretty high-end brand. You definitely will look out for it. And you could really tell the quality of the leather in this one. It's soft, but yet has a structure. It's not like tough. Like I have some other gloves, which I just sold, a Mark McGuire glove, just recently, first baseman's glove. Oh, I think they're on the other side. I don't want to cut the video again. But there are the other gloves. They're like Rawling. They do use a tougher. I don't know the leather. To me, the leather's a bit tougher in those other gloves. Takes a little bit more breaking into. These ones here, this is just like buttery soft leather. It feels great with your hand on the inside. I mean, it just feels like it's made for you. Such a great glove, such a great brand. They have a great product. Now, if you're looking up this model number, you're gonna be like, man, that's not really a good sell-through rate. You know, it's not. I shouldn't be picking this up. Well, when I saw this glove, I did see the model number. I did look up the model number, but I'm familiar with this brand name, and I know it's a higher end brand of glove, so I'm definitely picking it up. I got in a big old bundle of stuff for $80. And this is going to put me in the profit in that bundle. This glove, I'm going to list it for $150. Now, why am I going to list it for $150? Well, first of all, it's used. If it was brand new, I could probably push it closer to $250, maybe $300. But what really, really is desirable about this glove is this webbing here. This webbing here. On the inside. This webbing. This is known as the trapeze webbing pattern, and it's really, really sought after. Tell you the truth, I really don't know why, but it is. From me, in my younger days, watching baseball. I would always see Ichiro Suzuki playing using this glove with this, not necessarily this brand, but using this trapeze pattern out there. And I'm not really familiar with any other players using it, but I do know it is a highly desirable one. And match that with the brand, and you've got yourself. It's going to be a $150 glove. I'm going to sell it for $150. I'll definitely get back to you guys on that. But how do I know that? Just based on my experience. I'm a huge baseball fan. I follow baseball, play baseball, and I've used all kinds of different gloves. I've used the high-end Wilson. I think I still have a Wilson glove that I refuse to get rid of. That my wife keeps telling me, you should sell it. I go, no, I'm not going to sell it. I love that glove. But I like this glove too. I told my wife I might keep this glove. This is so nice. And I really don't feel like spending $300-something on one. But yeah, we're in the business to resell. And I don't go play catch as often as probably I would like to. But great glove. Look out for it. I'm probably not going to pronounce the name right, but Marucci. Look out for the trapeze pattern. Great glove. There it is right there. So, just using my experience on everything, I know I knew to pick this one up, and I knew it was going to sell for well over $100. So I hope you guys are out there. You guys are sourcing great items. I hope you guys are having great sales. And let me know what you guys think of the video. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I now have, if you guys want to join the membership, I have the membership active right now. And $5 a month. And right now, you'd basically just be supporting me or helping me out. But I am going to add, I'm leaning more towards adding a members-only live show to make it worth, to give worth or value to being a member. And because that's gonna really, I would have to dedicate time out of my day, which I always keep saying I'm gonna do a live show. I want to do a live show, but I'm always go. There's always something to do, be it listing, family, sourcing. So if somebody is paying for a membership, then I would be more, basically be more inclined to slice time out of my day to dedicate to those followers that are paying me, and offering, my knowledge, answering whatever questions they have, my knowledge to them. So let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. Please like, subscribe, and I know I might repeat myself when I say that, but I'm always trying to remember all the different things that everyone says. And hit the notification bell if you guys want to get notified of any new videos that I drop. But we'll catch you guys in the next video. Hi everybody, welcome to the video and welcome to Savers. We're actually going to go to Goodwill a little bit later in the video. But we made a small trip here, quick trip over to Savers, and we got a few little things, nothing crazy as far as volume goes, but as far as the dollar amount goes, we got some heavy hitters here. And we're going to pick up, see that cat right across the way there? That's actually from Star Wars, and it's actually a Disneyland, which I don't think they make that anymore. So we're definitely going to pick that guy up for sure. I have sold that before. And now I'm looking at the glass case. And the last time I was here at Savers, the glass case didn't look that great. Right now I'm looking at that Superman tin lunchbox. I'm looking at the minifigures. And I'm also looking at that. There's a knife right there. And that is a WR case knife. So let's take a look at this. So I'm gonna, well, I see the condition. I'm looking to see if the thermos is in there, and no, it's not. If the thermos was in there, it was a little bit better condition. It could be a $50 to $80 lunchbox. This knife, though, I was like, whoa, hold on. There's two knives in there? I didn't realize there was gonna be two knives in there. That's really nice. Their case, the brand is WR Case or just Case Knife. I believe the model is X Twin Fin. They're in excellent condition. Don't think they've ever been used. Still has the warranty card in there as well too. It is now. This was so on the box it was dated. I think it was October 2004. Which now makes it, now that we're in 2024, it's now 20 years old, which now makes it a vintage piece. So we are definitely going to take those knives. We have a 20% off coupon, so it's listed for $50. We're going to get it for $40. Now, I wanted to look at those minifigures, but you kind of put them over to the side, and these other people were there. So while I was looking at the knife and looking at the lunchbox, they got, first dibs here on the minifigures. However, there was really nothing of interest here, really. Captain Marvel. There's like a yeah, I'm pretty much looking for anything maybe I don't have in my own collection, or anything Star Wars, really. Star Wars are really resellable. They tend to have some good value. Or I'm looking for anything unique. Usually unique like prints or molds, like head molds on them. Can bring some pretty good value. but I didn't see anything really there I liked. Oh, this cat, $24. Of course, got 20% off that. And this is the Loth. I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly, but Loth cat. It's from the Star Wars Rebel series. But just a great piece. If you ever see it, pick it up. And used, it goes for about 40 to 50. This one has the tags on it, so it's probably going to go more closer to $80. But a great piece. Like I said, I don't think they make it anymore. So if you see it out there, grab it. If it's a decent price, 25, a little bit less than 25. 20% off 25 is a little, it's going to be okay. We're going to make some good money. Next, I'm picking up this box. This is little bubble mailers. It says for DVDs, but you can really use it for anything. And box of 25 for $3, a little bit less than $3 because we get 20% off, and that's a great deal. So 25 bubble mailers for less than $3. I'm definitely going to pick that up. I thought if this was electric, that might have been worth it, but nah. It's just like a little resin piece with a manual sharpener glued to it. No, we're passing that up for sure. Oh, I wanted to open this. I just wanted to make sure. Always check the boxes, because you never know if what's on the box is actually what's inside, because this has been taped over again, so I wanted to just make sure that those were actually bubble mailers there. So I'm going to take those. A lot of people here today. So we'll definitely do a recap at the end of this video of what I purchased at both locations, Savers and Goodwill. I see a lot of people's videos out there, a lot of people that I watch. Oh, really quick, this is on the baggy wall, which is what I was going to address right now. That is a Doctor Who pizza cutter. And last sold comps are right around $20-ish. I think there was one for $23. The bag, I think it was $3.99. We'll go over everything again, like I said at the end of the video. But great pickup. Not all, Doctor Who does well, but I was like, all right, I'll throw it in the cart. I'll look it up, and sure enough, it can make some pretty good profit. We'll make a pretty good profit on it. That's what I should say. But I see a lot of people at other Goodwills, thrift stores. They have a baggy wall, and here the only thing that really has a baggy wall is Savers, and some other. The Goodwills will have baggy items, but they're more just shoved in a aisle, shelving area, and it's very hard to see, what's in there. You got to go digging through them, and sometimes they're stapled, so you got to be careful. We've gotten stuck with staples numerous times trying to go through those little baggies at Goodwill, which is why I like the baggy wall, because I can glance and see, and I don't get stuck with what do you call it? Staples. Can't think of the word right now. Melt glass. There's several melt glass pieces here. Melt glass, you get a lot of views when you put melt glass out there on eBay. You get a lot of views on it, but no one wants to pay anything for it, so I leave it all behind. And we're going to go over to Goodwill. Here we are in Goodwill now. I put this in the cart. It's like a way to wirelessly stream what you're doing on your laptop to a TV or another monitor. Turns out not to be really worth anything. So I'm going to put it in the cart just to look at it, but we're not going to get it. Some of these meat thermometers can do really well, especially when you find the ones that are it's like just a thermometer, but it has Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth capable, and you pretty much just put the thermometer in the meat or whatever it is that you're cooking, and you can monitor it remotely with your phone. So those ones do incredibly well. Some other ones do okay. Just keep an eye on them. Wireless is better. Checking out some keyboards. Checking out the clicks. That'll be the first tip off. If it's, I feel the keys. You'll see me do that on whenever I'm looking at keyboards. I'll check the keys first, and that'll tip me off as to whether or not if it'll have any value. Then if I determine that it does have a good feel to it, then I'll go ahead and proceed to pick it up, and if it has a weight to it. Usually if it's a little weighty, it's good, and then look up the model. Check the model, then look it up. Old school typewriter, I don't really want to deal with it. It probably had some value, but it's going to be heavy. I ran into, I don't know if anybody that watches the channel also watches Golden State Picker, but he is in San Jose as well too, and I have run into him at different spots. And the other day we're at the flea market, and man, he had this huge vintage steel tool case. It appeared to me to be close to 3 foot long. It was really long. I asked him, man, you gonna ship that? He goes, yes, I am. It's like, wow, 3 foot. I mean, I've shipped items that long before, but it's really not that. It's a pain. It's a pain to ship items, really long items, really big boxes. I could do it, and I do, from time to time. If I need to, if the profit's there. Like I've said before, if the profit is there, I will go after those heavier or, longer shaped items and get them shipped out. But I'd rather deal with small items, like that case knife we got earlier at Savers. That goes like in a poly bag, and we're going to make some really, really good profit. But we'll talk about that in the recap. Angry Birds. I know some Angry Birds plush can have decent profit in it. Those are pretty, deflated plushes. I do know the Eagle. If you find the Eagle one from the movie, that is definitely one to look out for. I ended up putting those Angry Birds back. The main, that main red Angry Bird guy doesn't really do that well at all. The yellow one, probably around the $20-ish range. But I don't know what's going on with those, but they're really deflated. The plush in there just is, I don't know. It's either, I'm getting the feeling that maybe it's been restuffed or it's been opened up. We'll see. I'll put it back in it either way. But let me tell you something. We are back on the board with Deneen mugs. This is a collector's piece. I collect these Deneen mugs. They're not incredibly valuable. They're worth about $15-ish, depending on where they're coming from. If you find Death Wish coffee, Deneen, that's close to a $100 mug. But I have not found Deneen mugs in a while. And I think I mentioned this in the last video. I haven't found Deneen mugs, and I haven't found Glassy Baby in a while. So, we're back on the board with a Deneen mug that's going into the collection. And it's actually from the Pancake House, which is really good. So, hopefully Glassy Baby's coming up soon. This is an interesting mug. I looked it up. First of all, it's Microsoft Excel. We're picking it up because Microsoft Excel. But that mug, surprisingly, if you guys are into sell-through rate, that thing has a killer sell-through rate. It's almost 100% sell-through rate on that mug. It's not crazy valuable. It's going to be around $2 here at Goodwill. But it should go for around $15-ish. So if you see that, look out for it. It's a great mug. It seems to sell really well. If you're into Microsoft Excel stuff, cool. Here's some just San Francisco souvenir pieces. I'm right next to San Francisco, so we're gonna get a lot of souvenir stuff. There were a lot of people here tonight, and I mean, you're obviously not seeing it in the video because I'm kind of cutting that stuff out, but there were a lot of people in these different aisles. Like, I was trying to go down some aisles, and there was a bunch of people in there, and I couldn't look. So I was like, alright, well, I'll go circle around. Taking a look at the cart they're rolling out. I think this is some sort of a hair, yeah, a hair piece. It was like $22 or something. I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to bother with that. Now, I see some belts here. Now, what? There's an interesting belt. Don't want the horses here. There's a horse, and it's a Justin belt. Justin boots as well too. Justin boots do incredibly well. They're high-end boots, but they also do belts. They do leather work. So here's a Justin belt. No price tag on it, and we're gonna take it up to the front and get it priced. These airplane like model kits, I do really well with diecast airplanes, and so we're gonna look up this model kit. It's a plastic model kit, and it looks like maybe Blue Angels, I think. But we're gonna put it in the cart, and we are definitely gonna take that. Calligraphy markers. I've done really well with calligraphy pens. Not really sure about the markers, but I look them up and they're not worth it. So we're definitely going to leave that behind. And we're going to come check out this other cart over here. Now, here is something interesting. Some more Angry Birds. But if you see that Angry Bird Yoda one right there, I don't know, and I'm still not 100% sure, but there's an Angry Bird Yoda. It says something like a collection or limited edition. Let me just quickly remember or look it up really quick. And it is a it says sample. That's what it is. Sample Yoda Angry Bird. That one apparently, I think it's labeled or it has a tag that says sample on it. This one has no tags on it, so I'm going to do a little of investigative work on it. But that one goes for around $80 if you have the sample one. So I'm going to have to figure out what the difference is, and I'll probably get back to you guys on that in the recap. But we're checking out the clear glass, and nothing really there. And this is the kind of like place that doesn't have a home on the end caps. They usually tend to color code the end caps is what it is. And this is the aisle where we have found the Glassy Baby at this Goodwill. So I mean, now that it's kind of strange because when we have found Deneen mugs, usually Glassy Babies start to appear. I don't know why that happens. It's kind of weird. But we were finding Deneen and Glassy Baby kind of at the same time, so I'm just being extra cautious and checking stuff out. And they are starting to bring Valentine's. I know there's a Starbucks Valentine's cup that's out there that goes for pretty good money, but I can't remember exactly what it is. These cups here, like pottery cups, they look really nice, but if I remember correctly, I believe they're from Costco. And not much else. I'm going to pick up a Lego set from the glass. but we'll go over in the recap here at the end, which is right about now. Hey everybody, welcome to the recap. So, a couple of quick trips. We really hadn't planned on necessarily going to Savers. We were making a donation, and we're getting our 20% off coupon. So make sure to always keep a stash of, what I do is I keep a stash of donations, kids' clothes, they empty out their closets, and I keep a few little stashes here and there in the event we go to Savers, so that way we can get that 20% off coupon, and then we can get that 20% off items that we source there. So we made a donation. They were like, all right, let's just run in, take a look. I've talked about this before. I'd like to go in there and look at the glass. They tend to get computer components quite a bit. And so I like to go look and see what they have. And hopefully it's not priced up too high. This time we got a couple of great items right from the glass. And then we went walking around. Not too much walking around. But we did grab that Doctor Who. We'll go through everything in the video. And then the Goodwill, I hadn't really planned on going to the Goodwill either. So, my wife and my daughter were going to get their nails done. So I was like, all right, well, we're out and about already. The Goodwill, it wasn't too far, so I'll go take a look. And got some more items to resell. So let's go ahead and jump into the recap. I'm going to cut the video right here, and then you'll see the little picture-in-picture pop up. Okay, you should be seeing it up over here. And a nice little set of items to list right off the bat is the Case knife. Case is a great brand to look out for. Usually you'll find pocket knives out there. I haven't found any hunting knives before, at least at a reasonable price, I should say. But this little 2-pack, it comes in a set of 2. It's like a little mini knife, the larger knife with it as well, with the sheath. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. Has the box, has the warranty card. I'm going to price that up. I couldn't really find any other comps on that exact style. So I'm going to price it up to about $250 and open up best offer and see what happens. It should sell for right around $200 is what we're looking at. So we ended up, it was $50, $49.99. You get the 20% off coupon. That brings it down to $40. So definitely paying up, but for bigger profit. Willing to pay up for bigger profit. Then we found this, actually I saw the pizza cutter, and I noticed that it looked kind of like a lightsaber, and upon further inspection it's a Doctor Who. I forget the name of the device that he uses, but I still need to just test it out, make sure. It does have some sound. I'll double check that. Actually like a $20 piece. This belt, I spotted the horses first over at the Goodwill on the cart, flipped it over, saw that it was by Justin. Justin, more known for their boots, but they do other stuff as well too. I saw this belt there. It's small, but it's still nice. It's got the horse. It's got the horses on there, in the shape of a heart. Valentine's Day is coming up. It is a great brand name, leather. That should sell for around $25. The Yoda is not the Yoda I was thinking about, or I should say, the Yoda I saw. The more expensive one. This is just the generic one, so I'm probably going to keep it. It's not worth, it could be worth like $10 maybe, $12, but it's a keeper. Now this here is funny. It's Excel. Freak in the Sheets Excel mug. Surprisingly has an amazing, if you guys chase sell-through rate, amazing sell-through rate. Right around $15 or so is where it's going to go for. But really cool mug. And by the way, did you know there's an Excel a league? It's wild. They have a league throughout the month. They have tournaments throughout every month, and then it culminates with the giant championship in Las Vegas in December. Model airplanes. Models can do incredibly well. You have to look them up. You have to make sure that they are worth it. And this one's going to be worth about $30. It is the Blue Angels plastic model set. I sell a lot of the die-cast airplanes. Model sets, look them up. That one should be about $30. I'm always a Lego buyer. Always buying Legos for a reasonable price. I'm not going to go outrageous here. But $16 is a little bit close to outrageous for me. But we're still going to buy it, and we're going to hold it either to resell in the future or maybe give it as a gift in the future. Another big score, in my opinion, $25 what we paid for it. Paid a little bit less because of the 20% off coupon. But this plush, and the reason why I knew this plush was because I resold it before and I've seen it in Disneyland. It is an electronic Lothcat, I believe is how you pronounce that. But resells for right around $80. Keep your eye out for it. It does several different motions. That's several different features. So keep your eye out for it. A really great product. Let's just... the video kind of cut, so we're going to jump over to the next video right now, which isn't really something to resell. This is my collection piece. These are the Deneen mugs. See that, pretty recognizable with that oval, and they'll usually have a place on it. There's the markings on the bottom. The more important thing to look out for is that symbol, like the upside down pyramid looking symbol. You definitely want to look for that when you are picking up these mugs. And then, of course, it should have some other writing. If it doesn't, sometimes it'll just have the symbol. So, great mug to pick up. If to resell, it's around $10 to $15. Not crazy. The Death Wish coffee is the one you definitely want to look out for. But that one, like $10 to $15. But I collect them, so it's going into my collection. I don't mind paying a little bit more for stuff that I know I'm not going to resell, that I'm going to add to my collection or for myself or my family, anything like that. I'm going to show you another bolo, something to look out for. 1 second. And, this is one of the reasons why I'm making the videos is because sourcing is so important. I mean, that's the most important thing. You got to find products. No matter where you're selling at, no matter what online platform you're selling on, you got to find products, and you got to find them at a price point where you can make a profit. Now, this item I'm going to show you here is a big profit item. And we got to Goodwill. This will be featured in a video soon. But we got to Goodwill. And I do my usual. I'm going through the glass first. I'm running through my routine. I go check the glass, see what's in the glass, and then I circle back and I kind of go up through the toys. However, this time I kind of got caught off guard because I went to go look. They were stocking Target items, the stuff they get from Target. So I went to the glass and I got diverted over there. Started looking in that section, and then started circling back and kind of just weaved my way towards my usual routine. So I wanted to get to the toy section first. So I'm going through the toy section. Mind you, other people have already gone through the toy section already. And people that I know buy toys already have been through the toy section. Resellers, people, collectors, people have already gone through there. And everybody missed this item right here. This is it right here. So obviously it's like a sarcophagus, mummy, pharaoh, Egyptian piece here. And I noticed the face right off the bat. It looks Lego. Okay. Again, these are Lego board Legos. So I noticed right off the bat it's a Lego piece. I pick it up and I hear, of course, there's Legos on the inside. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I've never seen this before. So, I am a Lego collector. I specialize more in the Star Wars and Marvel side of things. But there are a bunch of sets out there. You could be a Lego collector and just go into one category of Lego. So this is an old Lego set. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's from 1998. And it's kind of got like Indiana Jones vibes kind of set. It's set number 5909. I'll show you one of the little minifigures here. They're kind of like... they're explorer or archaeologists and stuff like that. So this is like a little plane guy. And there's a couple of archaeologists in here as well too. It's a small set, not very big. So I picked it up, and then of course I'm looking for any Lego branding on it. It looks like Lego, but it might not be official Lego. And sure, it says, not sure if that's going to come out on camera, but it says Lego Group on the back. So now I'm like, okay, this is official Lego, something I've never seen before. I'm going to look it up. Sure enough, I look it up. I find out that it's a rare set. I found out it's an older set. And then not only that, but it's pretty rare too. So what did I pay for that? $4.39. So round up, $5 is what I paid for this whole set. I've already checked it out. It is complete. This set goes... I keep moving it around. This set goes for $200 used and complete. And this set came with a small set of Lego figures, building figures and a little airplane and a little Jeep. And it came with the carrying case. So these are the treasure treasure hunters. Let me just double check really quick. Let's see. The Lego 5909 is the set number. Lego 5909 is the treasure raiders. So the treasure raiders, look out for it. You know, I buy Legos all the time, and I was unfamiliar with this set. So, and then there were other people that walked through it. Other collectors, other resellers walked through already. This is why, like I was saying earlier, this is why I make the video, so you guys can see this stuff. You guys can gain the knowledge to be able to, wherever you're at, to purchase these items. Legos are everywhere. Apple products might not be, in your area with, that are priced well, or you might not see them that often. I live near Apple headquarters, so, I see a lot of Apple stuff. Legos, these things are everywhere. Disneyland, you might not see a lot of Disneyland stuff because you might be somewhere in the country where Disneyland's kind of far away. But, I do see a lot of Disneyland stuff here in California. But if you ever do come across anything like this, look out for it. It's $80. I mean, I paid up for it a little bit, but it's still going to be great profit for this item. Keep your eye out for these items, everybody, and I hope you guys are finding great items to resell. The other disclaimer too, you can't just rely on these big hits. $5 into $200. It's not something that to build your business, your eBay store, whatever you sell on. It's not something to build it around. You're going to need to be looking out for these like $4 into $20. That's and then these mugs right here, like this mug right here. This is basically $3 into $15. There's still profit there, but you start stacking all those little profits, then you get those big hits, and then we're making some good money here. Then we're rolling. So, with that, I hope you guys appreciate the video, and I appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate any thumbs up on the video. That really helps the eBay algorithm. Yes, I'm going to say it, the eBay algorithm. I know a lot of people talk about it at the end of the video. Please hit the thumbs up. Appreciate, if you liked what you see, appreciate a subscribe. And I appreciate, or if you want, hit the thumbs up. No, I already said the thumbs up. Hit the bell notification if you want to get notified when I drop new videos. Check out my shorts. I drop a lot of interesting, cool things over there. Just kind of like one item here or there. I try to do a few shorts a day with just cool stuff that I have or find. Just a quick little 15-second video or so is what I try to keep it at. And then the other channel is linked down below. I haven't updated any videos on there as of late, but it's just shipping right now. I might change that in the future, but it's just shipping. If you need any help with shipping, boxes, how to ship, I have that over there. It's just me packaging stuff up. And Instagram is down below. If you have any questions, you can definitely drop them in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram as well. But that's all I have. We'll see you guys next video. Welcome everyone to the video, and welcome to the flea market. It is cloudy. It was rain. We got a break in the rain, so we're getting out to the flea market. And I know this past weekend it was raining up here in the Bay Area, San Jose, California, and a lot of these vendors probably didn't come out. I was keeping an eye on some local people that post on Instagram. And, they come out here, and it didn't look very good. So, we did Goodwill sourcing this past weekend, and now we're back at the flea market. Gonna pick up this controller. That is, it's not like an Xbox, official, Xbox or anything like that. That is Xbox style. It's by a brand. It's, they make a lot of controllers for, as you saw in the box, your phone and all that, so you can clip your phone into it, then you have a controller there. And it was brand new sealed, so you only wanted $5 for it. We'll definitely recap that. I haven't had a chance to look up everything just yet. And a lot of the stuff that we're gonna buy here is just off of gut feeling. So I found some interesting stuff. Interesting doesn't necessarily translate to sales or profit, I should say. But just based on what I've been selling stuff for, or what I've been selling, and how much I've been selling stuff for, and the types of items I've been selling, I think we made some good buys here, and this camera not being one of them, because he wanted $20 for it, and it's not. It's a Kodak. Maybe if it was a Canon or a Nikon, but it's just a Kodak Easy Share, probably about a $20-$25 camera. I would have had to purchase that for $5 or less. It had batteries. It went with normal, AA batteries, which, I love picking those up because you don't need a charger. You can just, fresh pair of batteries in it, and it either works or it doesn't work. But he wanted $20 for that camera, so definitely gonna leave that behind. As you can see, look at just Apple MacBooks, iPads. We're here in San Jose. This stuff is just everywhere. It's all over the place. And one of the biggest problems, I think, a lot of the MacBooks you can definitely probably, I have reformatted them in the past. iPads, if they're iCloud locked, it's done. It's not really worth too much. And so, which is why you see me just kind of glazing over them. But the thing too is, they'll still charge quite a bit, even though there's a bunch of Apple products around here. They'll still charge up on those MacBooks. Which is why I tend to focus more on PC or Windows computers or laptops. They don't price those up as much, but those can bring some pretty good profit. Got some more Apple, got a bin full of laptops here. Nothing very good. What I'm really, really looking out for when it comes to when it comes to older laptops, I'm looking for those tough books. And they're very recognizable because they look like they can be run over by a car and they'd be perfectly fine. I think, as a matter of fact, they can be run over with a car. They're designed more for if you're on a job site, construction and all that. And they're made by, they are pretty, I'll tell you what, they are pretty old. Panasonic tough books. Even the older ones, they still do an incredibly, or they bring out an incredibly great profit margin if you get it for the right price. And people will generally treat them just as old laptops, and you can usually get away with paying around $10 or so. I have picked them up in the past for about $10. And then you turn around, sell them for 50, 60, 70, depending upon obviously what the specs. But they resell really well. Tough books. Panasonic tough books. That's what you're looking for. There's a lot of other stuff too that sells really well. It's just got to do your research. Look up model numbers. Look up specs. I've been in the computer industry for such a long time, so I'm really familiar with computers, computer networking equipment, all that stuff. So it's easier for me just because I already have the knowledge. And if you're out there sourcing this stuff, again, you still have to look this stuff up, and it's electronic, so odds are you're not going to be able to test it on site. You're going to need to buy it for a price that it will sell for with parts. What I have in my hand is a smart pot. And again, I haven't looked this stuff up yet, so we will definitely cover everything in the recap, everything that we're reselling. But this is a smart pot, and this vendor here has just great prices. There's little to no negotiation. I know I've gotten some comments about, they want to hear the negotiation with these vendors, but the thing is, I've been coming here for so long. I've been coming here since I was a baby, so I wasn't doing any negotiating back then. But I've already learned as to who has the best prices, who's going to give me, who's has the best stuff too that I can resell. And so I just target those vendors, and there's really very little to no negotiation because I'm already aware of what their pricing structure is. And some of the vendors even trust me enough to just say, name your price. Just tell me what you want to pay for all this. And I'll give them a reasonable price that I think is worth it for them and worth it for me. And if I'm buying for myself, there's usually no negotiation at all. So, but I mean, there is the occasional vendor who I will pop into, because you never know. You just never know. And so there is the occasional vendor who, I usually don't buy from normally, and I will, take a look and pop in and buy stuff from and negotiate. It does happen. But the vendors I buy from, they regularly get good stuff. So I just go see them and I buy from them because they get good stuff and they get good stuff regularly. I don't know. This is a CB radio. I don't know. I don't really. I can't remember the last time I bought and sold a CB radio. So I left it there. It was a Cobra. So Cobra's a good brand to look out for when it comes to CB radios and walkie-talkies and stuff. But it was kind of lightweight. It felt kind of cheap to me. Just maybe one of their lower end models. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure truckers and everything are still using CB radios. And one of the cords was cut on there. I'm not sure if that's really crucial to it or not. But I left it behind. Oh my god, this camera. I would have picked this up, but as you can see, the top of the camera, I picked it up and I felt something sandy. But those batteries have not just exploded on the end. I mean, they've exploded on the inside. They're busting out the top of the camera. I can't even get the bottom, the actual camera cover open. But if you look there, like the corrosion is busting through the top of that camera there. Got to be careful with that stuff. This is a really cool. Oh, this is a camera. I generally pick these cameras up. They're Kodak Easy Share cameras. They'll sell anywhere from $15 to $20. It was just a little too dirty for me. But this backpack right here, Friday the 13th, it was clean, almost brand new without tags. Great condition. I know I'm going to get a great price. It's a bundle deal. We're at Lupus Station, so I'm going to throw it in there. This other vendor and some friends were over here kind of hanging out, checking stuff out. But some of the other guys that... Yeah, I know him. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I buy from him occasionally. But some of the guys that were hanging out with him, they were kind of loud. I don't know if they, yeah, I don't know. They were just kind of loud and kind of messing with my vibe here. He wasn't. The vendor wasn't. That's over here shopping. His booth's on the opposite side. He was cool, but the other guys were a little... The other guys he was hanging out with were a little... I don't know. They weren't causing any issues, but... But... You could get a 40 here with your breakfast if you want. They do have plenty of beverages, adult beverages at this flea market at any hour you come, or when they open, whatever time that the concession stand opens, it's available. You can have a margarita first thing in the morning if you want. If this Dino printer was in here, I would have been picking that up. That would have been a cool, like, $80-ish sale on eBay. But I bet somebody already snagged it. I didn't get here that as early as I would have liked to. But this is on a Wednesday, and Wednesday is my daughter's late day to school, so that is one of the things that, with the freedom that this job has given me, I'm able to take some of my kids to school. I think my wife took my son to school today, and then I took my daughter to school, so gives me that ability to do that freedom to do that, and I don't have to worry about how my kids are getting to school, how they're getting picked up, the babysitter situation. I also have plenty of family around, so and if that's something that you guys are wanting to do, to be there more for your family, this will help. Not this moccasin, but I'm gonna pick those up for resale. Take a look at my cart there. I got a old Star Wars model kit. I got a old Western like wagon model kit, and there was a cart. I didn't go through it at all. I just kind of skimmed the top of that cart, and the milk carton thing, and there were some trains, Bachmann trains, and I know they could be. I don't deal too much in trains, but I know they could be pretty good profit. I was just briefly looked it up on eBay. We're probably looking at about $20 a train. I estimate there's about 10 trains in that thing, so we're looking pretty good. I will have to go through everything, and you'll see stuff in the recap. But like I was saying, you know, this job that we do, I know some people like to call it a side hustle or whatever, but you know, nonetheless, if you're earning money, it's a job. This job that we do, that we all do here, even the vendors here as well too. You know, these vendors are resellers as well too. The Goodwill's a reseller. Savers is a reseller. All these people, you know, involved in it's a great way to earn money, and quickly too, especially with eBay. eBay is just so easy to get started. You know, it's very quick just to get up and get going on eBay. Same thing with Poshmark too. It was really easy to get up on Poshmark. Don't have experience with Mercari or other sites, but I think they're pretty easy to get going on. Luba showed me this vest. Just a nice leather vest, fringe, made in Mexico. And I know that if I can't sell these, or if I'm having trouble selling them, I know my sister could sell these. As a matter of fact, this is right up her alley. She's up in Northern California, and she has a lot of friends that I know would love these things. And so she has more in the car, so that's what she's bringing out right now. She's bringing out more stuff that she has in there, so we're going to go through it really quick. And a bin full of brass. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time. I'm going to go through these bins here.
That one I don't know, maybe.
We'll probably pass on those. I'm not sure what those were, like origami, Chinese origami. But a bunch of brass items. Now, what I'm looking for here in the brass, I'm looking for strong images, really. I'm going to take these two bookends, these pineapple bookends. It's a pair, it's a set. They're fairly heavy, and I think they should, you know, my thought process is that they should probably get me anywhere between 20 and 30 bucks for the pair. I'm thinking tropical, Hawaiian, all that. I'm going to pass on these giraffes, the birds, the cups and everything. I'm looking for really strong imagery when I'm kind of looking at this brass right now. And I see a lion at the bottom, which is why I'm trying to work through these here. I see a lion and I see a horse on the bottom. So the horse, it turns out that the tail's kind of broken. So I'm like, oh man, I really wanted to get the horse. The horse actually came with a brass saddle. Really cool. But I'm going to leave that behind because it's broken. There is a lion down there. I'm going to take the lion. And then I'm going to go through the vest, the rest of the leather vest. There's more in there. There's a lot more in there, actually. And I'm going to take, you know, the best condition ones. Turns out to be about 5 of them. And we'll try to resell those on Poshmark or eBay. I'm not sure yet. But great pieces here. Some nice pieces. Yeah, I really thought about buying all that brass, but okay, we moved on a little bit here. We're on a little bit further down, and I see these iPods. $5 a pop for each iPod. It's a decent deal. The guy doesn't know if it works or not. Even if I sell them for parts, we'll definitely be in a profit a little bit. If they work, I mean, we're talking about close to probably $150 in eBay sales. I was thinking of putting it down there, but I'm like, it's probably going to jiggle around and fall out. Top of my cart is ephemera. And the guy didn't want to be on film. He didn't want me filming. He said, I don't want to be on YouTube. So I said, that's no big deal. But he initially said $80 for all that ephemera. And I'll go over it in the recap here and why I actually purchased it. I didn't purchase for $80. I told him, he said, make me an offer. And I was like, well, if he's already starting out at $80, man, I don't want to go as low as I think as low as I want to go. I want to go like down to 10, but we settled on $25, and I'll tell you why I did that at the end. here's some, just some nice vintage silverware, mugs, pottery, a little geode. Looks like there's some probably uranium glass plates there. Some depression glass, which doesn't do that well. It's okay. I had actually, I want to pick up this mug. It's in Orvis, Italy. It's really a cool mug. And he wanted $10 on it, so I was like, I'll take a stab at it for $10. It was really nicely done. But I had actually passed up a couple of Breyer horses, the brand Breyer horse, but they were different animals. There was a brown cow and a Brahma bull. And I passed them up because the brown cow, one of the horns is broken, and the Brahma bull, both horns were broken but re-glued, and he wanted $10 a piece on them. And the Brahma horse, the Brahma bull has no sales, and the other one had sales, but I'm like, Someone else ended up picking him up for $20, and I'm pretty sure leaving him behind was a good call. But we're going to go to the recap here, and you'll see all the stuff I'm going to resell. Hey everybody, welcome to the end of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and go through everything here with you instead of doing the little picture-in-picture screen. But let's just jump right into it. And the ephemera that I got, we'll cover that at the end of the video. But let's just go ahead and go through some of the items. I'm going to break it up a little bit just because lack of space. Things are getting a lot of hand here. And I got to start, I got to process stuff, get stuff upstairs. And once I can get some of this stuff that I've already pictured and listed upstairs, we'll have a little bit more space, a little bit more room to work with down here in the intake area, which is the garage. But let's go over the haul in this video. First and foremost, we got this controller. I mean, this will be the easiest to quickly list, and it goes for about $20 to $25. Picked up for $5, brand new, steel sealed. It's a Moga Power. It's by PowerA, and Bluetooth. I think you can use this with your Xbox, but it has the adapter there for your cellular phone. So just a really cool controller. PowerA is a great brand. It's not it's not by Microsoft or PlayStation, but they make controllers, and they're pretty good controllers. And this will do really well. Should do really well. Then the other one we have here, sorry, I cleared my throat there. The other two items we got is these are I was going through that brass stuff, and I spotted these at the bottom as well too. And this is called like this with the it just has like a like all over pattern. It's called decoupage, is what you want to look up for when you see these. And I've done pretty well selling these things, these animals. Most recently, I sold an elephant, and they go for right around $20, $25. And I got 2 lions. Pretty cool. Just a couple lions. And I'm just looking for, like, strong... When I was going through that brass stuff, I was looking just for strong images, The giraffe, to me, doesn't invoke a strong image. I mean, it could for some people. But I was looking for, the lions, the big animals, the animals that appeal to a lot of people. I don't think giraffes appeal to a lot of people, but, you guys let me know down in the comments down below. If you're giraffe lovers, and I should have picked up the giraffes. Dolphins, I know, but the dolphin had a little bit of a issue with the tail. Had a little bit of corrosion going on there, so some oxidation. This is a leap pad, leapfrog. Got it for $4. This I got at the end of, as I was walking out. I saw it there. I saw it when I walked in. And I'm like, it was still here when I'm leaving. I'll pick it up. And it sure was. It was for $4. And these do really well, like $15 to $20. It's not crazy. We're not going to make a bunch of money. These do get close to £1, so make sure you use the, these will go in the padded priority flat rate. They do really well. It comes with a case and everything. Just wrap it up in a little bit of bubble wrap and you'll be fine. But they sell quick. Even the little, I've sold the little... These guys too. Surprisingly, I've sold I don't know what they're going for now, but I've sold these for like $10. Just the little stylists. So, but we'll sell that. And this you can, It does come with, some of them come with rechargeable batteries, but you can use AA batteries for these as well too. Then we got, here's one of the brass pieces I did pick up. And again, like I said, I was going for those stronger images, and it is a lion. Lion piece. Should go for like 20, 25 bucks for the lion. The pineapple, where are the pineapple? Oh, I'm going to bring out everything out in stages here. They're out here right now. Then we got this mug. And I probably paid up too much. It was $10 for the mug. But just really cool style. There are others out there on eBay. It is an Orvis, Italy. Hand painted. I can't find this exact guy listed, but there's a bunch of others listed. And it should probably be about like a $20 mug. So we're not going to make too much on that, but I'm going to get it cleaned up, get it listed. Maybe price it a little bit. Maybe price it at $25 just because there's, you know, it looks like there's a set of these. And if someone's looking for one, they may pay up a little bit just to get the one to complete their set. But very, you know, very detailed. That's what drew me to it and why I paid up for it. Which I shouldn't have, but every time I go out there to learn the experience, you know, sometimes you gotta take a stab at some items, and this time you know, it's not gonna be great profit, but it'll be some profit. We'll do okay, and we will do okay because we did pick up those iPods as well too, so those are all working. Now I got these little moccasins. They're nothing fancy or anything. They are resin, just resin moccasins. They were like $6 somewhere. So I'm going to pair these up. There's 6 of them in here. They're just really nice, detailed moccasins. Like just made in China. You know, nothing crazy here. But really nice. And I'm going to pair them up and sell them at $10 each. There's 6 of them in here. So we're looking about $30 on these moccasins. Then I got this, so I got the Star Wars thing, and I really didn't look through it too well while I was there. This is the Star Wars piece. But it looked like it's already been, somebody started painting it already. So what I'll probably do is just sell it for parts. There's some that are still in the bag. So I'll probably just sell it for parts and try to move it quickly. Make like 10 bucks, or sell it for 10 bucks. Just to get it moving here. And, yeah, get our money back. Not very exciting here. Not very exciting at the moment. But I grabbed this belt buckle. I paid up for it because Kaiser Permanente. It's a local hospital here. So really cool. Just a brass belt buckle. I don't know if I'm going to sell it. We'll see. Just local hospital to San Jose. Here's a cool device. This is I will need to figure out. I don't know if I can charge it with USB yet, or if I need to get a specific charger for it. But it's a Nokia. It's actually a Nokia tablet. It has a little stylus with it. Here, it actually has a little pop-out camera, which is kind of cool. And this sells for about $40. So, it's really cool. Just little, you know, just a little, it's like a little tablet, basically a phone tablet. It doesn't even have any capabilities other than Wi-Fi. So I picked it up. I hadn't seen it before. I was like, when I looked at it, I was like, it's Nokia. I didn't know, but I'm going to have to figure out if it works. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, then, you know, it's probably not worth too much. Should work. It looks in good condition. I picked up this random letter opener because it's not, the name isn't really anybody. I think someone just made it, but it's in lucite, which is pretty cool. And it's just a letter opener. I mean, that gold in there looks, I don't know why someone would, I mean, that gold looks real, like real gold leaf, real gold flake to me, but there's really no way to test that. And I'm gonna sell it and clean it up a little bit. I'm pretty sure I can get around $15 to $20 for that. Yeah, it's just a homemade piece. I thought it was something because it had the name on there, but it's not. It's just a homemade piece, but it is a piece of lucite, and lucite is pretty popular. People like it, especially, you know, lucite, you know, stuff that's been encased in it. I sell it all the time. I sold something I sold recently was this clock. It was a lucite, and it had a bunch of shells. The clock didn't work, but I ended up selling that I got it for $10 at the flea market, and ended up selling it for $60. It was pretty big, like mantle clock. shells completely encased in lucite. So really cool, really cool. Okay, that is it for the table. I covered all that. Let me grab some more stuff and then we'll cover the rest. Okay, we're back with some more items here, and so we got, this is right in my wheelhouse. Keyboards. This is from Microsoft Surface. This is model 1561, and this should go for about $20. Paid $5 for that guy. Then these are the pineapple bookends. These should be about $30. So two pineapple bookends, brass. Great condition. Everything's just dusty, so it was a very dusty unit, it looks like. Very old unit, so everything's very dusty. And that's one thing you're going to realize the flea market. There's a lot of dust. But what else did... this is a smart... And from what I can't really find this exact brand, but it's a smart plant pot. And I think you plant your... Just put your plants in there. I was looking at it. I'm not really sure exactly. I'm not really 100% sure exactly how it works here. Transplant plants and soil into plant pot. And then it has some sort of absorbent material in there. So I'm not really sure how it works, but I can't find this exact model, but other self-watering is what it says. Self-watering potted plants go for around $25 to $30. Got it for $3 too. So that's not bad. iPods. The iPods. So we picked up these iPods here, and they are tested and working. Batteries are unfortunately not holding a charge. So this one here, this older one, this is model number 19. No, wrong one. Model. Like some weird, little. Something over it. 1040 is the model number on that one. That should be about $60. And then I got 3 of the exact same model of these ones. I got 2 black, 1 white, and this should be about I thought I heard something there for a second. I don't know. This should be about $30 each for these. So I got 3 of those. So that's pretty good. And then the trains. I got the trains. You heard me mention it. I got it in a milk crate. They're all right here in this box down here. I'm not gonna. It's. What I'm gonna do. And I'm not really a train guy, but I went ahead and jumped in. I saw the trains in there. I did a little bit of a lookup really quick, and it looked like it probably was good, but turns out it's not that great. A lot of them were just like these. I guess you want the engines. I'm not a train guy, but I saw it there. I knew I was going to get a good deal on it. And turns out it's not really going to meet my my expectation of what or it's not expectation. It's not going to meet the, I want things to sell for. I don't want to list anything for under $10, basically. And a lot of these are under $10. And I mean, lower than this. So I think something like this was, I think, like $2 or $3. But there's some engines in here that were $15 to $20. So what I'm probably going to do is lot everything up together, one big lot. I might just take them out of the package because there's no way for me to clean those packages. I would just destroy them probably if I tried to clean them. So I might just remove everything from the package, dust it all off, put them all together in one big lot, and sell them that way. I'm probably thinking about probably about $50 maybe. Yeah, try to move it quick. Just try to get rid of them and get them moving. And we should do well. Overall we should do well. It was $100 for everything from Lupe's station there, and it's not going to be crazy. We're not going to make a crazy amount of money from those items. It wasn't necessarily the best haul, but we got some great stuff here. We'll at least double our money. Oh, the vests. I got those vests. Where are the vests at? Oh, the vests are over there. Hold on. Okay, here's the vests. So I got the vests, And each of these vests should be right around $20, maybe $25 for each of the vests. They're really nice, great condition too. I grabbed the ones that were in good condition, and I left the ones that weren't in. They weren't in the best condition. They would look like some staining, so I left them behind. So I got 5 of these. So 5 of these. This should pay for everything that I paid for all this stuff, and then all the other stuff will start to put us in the profit. Like I said, we should double up on everything, which is what I try to do. And I don't mean to sound like a double up is bad. It's really good. I mean, if you can double your money every time, that's going to be great. It's just I'm just so used to like big hits all the time. Just paying $20 for 4 iPods, and then it's going to be like $150 once we're said and done. Paying $5 for this, and this is going to be like $20 right here. I'm just so used to like big hits, big scores, that a double up is just kind of like, But if doubling your money is always good. Don't listen to me. If you could double your money every time, that's gonna be great. You're gonna do really well. So, great items here. What else? Oh, I want to go over the ephemera really quick, and the reason why I even bought it or got involved with that. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure that's everything. For some reason, I thought I bought more, but I don't think I did. Yeah, I think that's everything. Okay. Let me bring the ephemera out really quick. Or I'm going to bring out what I picked out of it. Okay, so I bought that big ephemera lot. You saw it right on the top. The guy didn't want me to film there, so I was like, okay. Only like the second time at the flea market anyone has ever told me not to film. But I was really interested in this ephemera lot, and a lot of it was just, I think there was like a birth certificate, some sort of honorable discharge from the military, random letters and stuff like that. It looks like someone was passing away, and so there was letters back and forth regarding that. But what I saw in there, and what really piqued my interest, are these right here. So these are little certificates. Basically, if you were to purchase shares in a company, you would get, back in the day, you would get one of these little certificates. As you can see, it says, has the person's name, and then how many shares, and it's stamped and all that. This company, I'm still doing some more research on this Rose Spring Mining Company. If anybody has any information on Rose Spring Mining, let me know. But it appears to be a company. I don't think it's in existence anymore. So these will be worthless if it's not in existence. Obviously, I don't even know if they would be worth it if it still existed, or if somebody bought them and they're still involved somewhere. I don't know. But it appears that they operated in Death Valley, and it was some sort of a silver mining operation. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I can't find anything like for sale on Rose Mining, but I have found some mining shares, certificates, or stock certificates, whatever you want to call it. And there are some of them out there for like $10 to $20 each. And I think these should probably fall somewhere in that range. And if that is the case, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on the low end, we're looking at about $60. And what the guy was asking initially was $80 for the whole lot. And I'm not going to pay $80 for, something I really don't deal in. I don't know too much about. I just know a little bit of information. I know these are collectible, and there are people that look out for these. So that's the reason why I bought it. Now, there was a couple other things in there that are of interest. And first, I'll deal with the let's deal with this really quick. I can't find anything on this. I have no idea what this is. Well, I know what it is. I don't know if it has any value at all. But this is What Hath God Wrought? Short History of God's Dealings with the Undenominational Church of Wattville Road, Handsworth, Birmingham. Now, this is over in England. The Wattville Road. I was looking it up, and it's something to do. It's a place in England. I don't know. I can't find anything on this book or pamphlet, I guess, in particular. But it has, I don't know, it's just a bunch of history in here, and obviously quotes from the Bible. There's early pillar, I guess people that, were establishing this church. If you guys know anything about this, let me know. I thought it was interesting. I don't really know if it has value or not. But there was something in there that it does have value. And there was a surprisingly a comp and somewhat similar. And that was a newspaper, a German newspaper. Here it is right here. So we got this German newspaper. And the one that sold on eBay was for $99.99. So a little bit of a surprise. What did you see there? Has a baby with a cat on the back. So kind of a bit of a surprise here. So I don't know. I might price it about the same. Maybe it's rarer than I think. Maybe I'll price it up so I don't sell it, too low and just accept offers. But really cool. Just, I mean, it's not the one that's on eBay is not this exact one, but it's similar to this. It's similar little newspaper magazine advertisement, I guess, and it's sold for $99.99, so $100. So I think this ephemera is gonna do pretty well, and that's what I'm used to right there. I paid I paid $25. I paid $25 for the ephemera. A little bit much if you're just jumping into something that you have no idea. I have some idea, but some I don't normally deal in. And jump right into it. And I think we should do pretty well with the ephemera. And I think that is it. Again, don't forget the decoupage stuff here. Look out for it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff, and I always do really well. I mean, if you look at the sold history and you go through the sell-through rate, it doesn't look very good for sell-through if you're looking at the sell-through rate. But I've bought and sold these so many times, so we're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna keep it going. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think of the video. Let me know what you guys think of the flea market. If you guys have any, information on the stuff that I, threw up here, any comments down below. Obviously, the Rose Spring Mining Company. Let me know what you guys think of the videos. Do you like the little, do you like me just showing you everything, or do you like the picture-in-picture? I know there are commercials now rolling in the videos. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is it too much? So, I put the commercials in based on how often or how long people watch the video for, and YouTube is telling me that people only watch about a little over 5 minutes, between 5 to 6 minutes of the video, and so I put commercials in accordingly, so that way I can kind of capture those people that are in it for just a few minutes, and that's it. But let me know your thoughts, everything down below. What else? Oh, thank you to new subscribers. If you like the content, please subscribe down below. Hit the bell notification if you want to get notified of videos when I drop them. Links are down below. Shipping channel down below. Instagram down below. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Hi everybody, welcome to the video and welcome to the flea market. And so we got some great stuff in the video, and we also run into Matt from Part-Time Pickers and Kayla, the homeschooling picker, here in San Jose, California. So that'll be a little bit later in the video. Matt I have run into before. He's a local guy up in Hayward, so about, on a good day, maybe about 40-45 minutes from here. On a bad day, it could be like 90 minutes to 2 hours it's taking me to get to Hayward sometimes. It's traffic is a little crazy. And so we'll run into them, and then we'll just exchange pleasantries and continue on the hunt. But kind of cool to run into people, and I've run into Ready Set Resale. I always forget his name. But run into him. eBay's here. I've said this before. eBay is right down the street. YouTube is just up the freeway. So we do encounter a lot of YouTube celebrities, I guess. All right, so we're starting here at Lupa's table, and she's got some great items. Oh, I also have some. At the end of the video, I'll talk about some updates and stuff here with the channel, with the audio and stuff like that. But we're here at Lupa Station. We're picking up some games. They're Game Boy Advanced. Nothing really exciting. Game Boy Advance or Nintendo wise. It's just some good store stuff that'll sell pretty quickly. Pretty low. Maybe somewhere between $5 to $10 each. But I'm getting a great deal on everything, so I feel comfortable picking them up and moving those things along. That fan box there that you saw me grab was it's a cooler for a CPU or a processor for a computer. I remember these tiny little CD players. They're just, you take really small CDs, and I never really saw any small CDs like out in the. You have to make them yourself. Well, you buy the little CDs and you have to burn your own music to it. And then I have a Dynamo label maker. I've sold these before. These are just little video players. And I forget. I think they're from Tiger Electro. I'm not 100% sure where they're originally from, but they're called Video Now. And I've sold these before for between 15 to 20. I had one with a bunch of movies with it in a case, and that one sold for $30. So we're definitely going to scoop these up as well too. I'm thinking about somewhere between $15 to $20 on each of those two. And then the cooler, it's not a very high-end cooler, CPU coolers, but we're probably going to get about $20 or so for it. And like I said, all the games I threw in there's really nothing memorable about the games. I think one of them was, the best one was probably like a Lego Ninjago, which that one should bring up maybe about $10 or so. But the other ones are all just like between $5 to $10 games. I just wanted to check the batteries. I think it took a lot of batteries. I wanted to make sure they weren't all corroded. But the Hyper 212, that's the name of it. The Hyper 212 Evo. If you guys are into computers or do computer building, it's a great cooler. It's not very expensive. I believe they still produce it for modern CPUs, or I should say the latest CPUs. But it's just I actually use one of those in my open air test bed system. So it's just great. It's not like the best. Not gonna give you the best results, but it does the job, and it does the job well. I recently picked up the clear keep matching keyboard to this mouse, and the problem is when these things have been sitting around in a storage unit forever, they just collect dust and dirt on the inside. Sometimes it looks like maybe some bugs crawling in that thing. I don't even know how they get in there, because it's like tight. It's a really tight, closed little enclosure thing, but stuff still finds its way in there, and I don't want to sell. If I'm not going to be able to really clean it up, and it's not going to bring that much, like the mouse, maybe like a $10 mouse. The keyboard was maybe like a $20, $25 keyboard. And I really don't want to, spend the time having to take it apart, clean it out, and then list it. It's just kind of a waste of time. I'd rather just find better, cleaner items is what I'd rather do. And if you guys have noticed, I changed my cart out here. I'm using a taller cart as of late. I have a wagon, and you may have seen that in some of my previous videos, me using a blue wagon. But I kind of like the taller carts. The only problem with the taller carts is you really can't, everything's vertical, so you just can't lay it in there. But I do like this cart. It's a little more maneuverable. You know, if you are going to flea markets, bring a cart. Trust me, you're gonna. One time, I remember one time I came with. I was like, I'm not gonna need a cart. I'm just gonna run in, run out. I really don't have too much time. I'll just pick up a few little things here and there. I'll take a bag. And someone was selling a bunch of Legos, and it had a bunch of Lego animals and figures in there, and a huge bin. And I'm like, I'm gonna go grab my. I bought it, and then I took it back to the. I took it back to the car, and then I was like, I'm just gonna bring the cart over and just start going through the. Start going through the flea market. So always bring a cart, whether you think you're gonna need one or not need it.
Hey,
Yeah.
make that one?
Oh, I see.
Hey, hasta las 3.
Lupa is, she always has stuff for me and things I might like. She knows what I pick up, and she'll present me with items. I did look this up, and it probably would have been probably about a $10 harmonica, but the sell-through rate wasn't that great. So I as much as I talk about the sell-through rate, how you really shouldn't 100% abide by the sell-through rate. I do look at it from time to time, or I should say I mention it from time to time because I wasn't sure. I don't really buy what do you call it, harmonicas that often, but I do know there is some value in harmonicas, so I checked it out. These Bibles, these electronic Bibles, they do they sell really fast. I picked up that one. I totally missed the other one that was sitting there. There was two there, and I ended up picking up the other, seeing it again. That's one thing that I can't probably stress enough is when you're walking through anywhere, flea market, Goodwill, whatever, that first pass, you're going to see some stuff, but you really, really got to take your time to kind of examine like what is actually underneath other things, underneath cables, at the bottom of piles, or sometimes it'll just be sitting there and you just miss it the first time. Always going over and giving everything a second look has yielded some pretty good profitable items for me. Or even having somebody with you. I've talked about this before. Having somebody with you, if your spouse is involved with the business or likes to go out with you shopping on these adventures, go with your spouse, go with your boyfriend, whoever, friends or whatever, because you're gonna miss stuff. It happens. You're gonna just completely look over items and totally miss some great profitable items. See, I didn't even see the second Bible, but it's there. It's there. It's there in that pile. I'm gonna see it as I make my second pass. And what I've learned over the years, and again, I've mentioned this before, I've learned over the years of coming here. It's here to the flea market, everywhere, but, we're at the flea market today. But coming to the flea market is always, just focusing in on those right vendors. And you'll learn who the right vendors are, who give you the best prices, who work with you on deals, who always continually bring great items. Concentrate your time on those vendors. And there's a lot of stuff sitting here that could be profitable, but you might miss it if you're just walking by and you kind of just scan. You're like, I'll pick up here this, and then you walk right by it, and then you're missing all the other. You're probably missing some great items that are buried here in these piles. Take a look at that little duffel bag thing right there. That is a wine brand. At the end of the video, I'll do a little recap and I'll show you. We'll do a little deep dive into this thing because I find they're like little wine. It's a champagne brand, and I find just like the little cozies. It's kind of like just a little like polyester zip up. It looks like a thermal basically for your for your bottle. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they were sold at Costco, and periodically they pop up at Costco once in a while. But I'll find just those little cozies at Goodwill for a couple bucks usually, and they resell for 15 to 20 from that brand. So seeing that duffel bag style, which actually holds 3 bottles in it, I'm picking that up. I don't even know what it goes for. We'll cover that at the end. But and that may change here in the future with these videos. I may be giving you my live commentary, but that's a great pickup. Great pickup. I'm checking out their purses where they'll hang their higher end stuff. The Lululemon, the Nike. I picked up a Nike bag from here just the other day, and it sold within about a week. Again, I'm going to go back to that sell-through rate thing I was talking about earlier. You know, that Nike backpack, Nike backpacks have a decent sell-through rate. They're not bad. It's just there's a lot of them out there that really aren't worth too much. And the one I had was okay. It wasn't the greatest brand. It sold for $25, and according to the sell-through rate, it probably would have sat for a while. That style of backpack, but I sold it. I sold it within 4 days. It took 4 days. 4 days to sell. Gone. See, I see this little gaming mouse, but this gaming mouse, if you look at the bottom there, it's missing bottom plate, and some of these games. See, there it is, right there. Look, there's the other Bible, and this is the gaming. Some of the higher end gaming mice have weights in them, so look out for those. If you see a gaming mice and it has weights in it, it's usually a little bit more higher end. I'm gonna finish up here at this vendor's booth, pay up and everything, and then we're gonna cut to another vendor. And this is where we're going to run into Matt and Kayla. So I'll come back with the with the commentary here shortly. Welcome to San Jose.
Oh, thanks.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Gilbert.
Nice to meet you, Gilbert.
Matt, running a couple times.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, good.
Good to see you.
It's my first time here.
Yeah, first time in California.
Oh yeah, that's the first time in California. Nice.
And only my second time at a flea market also.
Only second time at a flea market?
Yes.
Do they have any out there?
No, they're like indoor and not the same at all.
Oh.
They're like little antique malls.
Yeah, exactly.
Antique mall?
That's what they
Oh,
call
that's
flea
right,
markets.
right. Cool, nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
Good running to you.
So that was pretty cool running into them too here in San Jose. Like I said, yeah, I've run into Matt before, but Kayla is obviously another channel that we really like and watch, and to run into her over here, just really cool. I mean, it's kind of strange. I do run into when I have run into famous YouTubers. I always gotta remember, they have no idea who you are, but they all about their lives. So that'll probably happen to me, hopefully one of these days. Now this vendor, really cool guy, and we're gonna stop to chat with him for a little bit. He's not usually here on Thursdays, so it really threw me off.
How you doing?
Typically here on Sundays.
Same old, same old. Still out here hunting. How's it? Are you gonna come on Thursdays regularly or not?
No.
Just once in a while.
Because it's raining this weekend, so.
Oh, that's
so I'm
right.
gonna
Yeah.
And the yeah, that's why.
And
But yeah, I normally don't come.
did it rain this past Sunday?
Yeah, it
Were you
rained
here?
Saturday and Sunday was good.
Saturday? Okay.
Saturday was raining, Sunday was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I know. It's just the
weather.
time of the season.
Yeah. I'm not mad, but you know, yeah. You gotta be.
Yeah. Has it been good or what?
It's
Has it
alright.
been good since the start of the year? Yeah, it's been alright on eBay, you know. It's been kind of like up and down lately.
Yeah.
But
I feel it.
yeah, but I mean, it's working out. Some higher priced items are selling, so it kind of balances, you know.
Yeah.
The volume's down, but like higher prices are going, so it's alright. So maybe I have to work more at the hospital, make some more money, which I don't want to do.
Yeah, I know. I feel it.
I'd rather be out here. How much on the Lego set there?
5.
All right, cool. I'll get that. I'm gonna keep looking around here.
Yeah, and I don't typically come on Sundays that much anymore, so yeah, I just wanted to chit chat. And real nice guy, brings some great stuff. I mean, just nice, clean items, ready to list. I mean, Legos galore. I'm gonna pick up there's 2 Mickey ones there. He's gonna give me them for $5 a piece. A couple of great sets. And it kind of, everything just kind of threw me off today because he's not typically here. And I saw him. I looked over thinking it was the guy that sells a lot of plush. And when I saw him there, I was like, oh hey. So, I just finished up on the other side and came over to see him. But while I was there, before Matt came into the picture there, into the frame, there was a guy that was looking at some Lego minifigures, and I was trying to wait for him to put them down. He was looking them up, and I was like, I just missed them. And you saw me look at some random like sunglasses. I wasn't even considering buying those, but I was really trying to, like, with my mind, trying to get him to put those things down so I can grab them. But he ended up getting them. But yeah, I got a few more sets, and if I hadn't stuck around, it wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have run into Matt and Kayla. So the 2 Disney sets were $5 each, and then $1 for that baseball. I find that baseball pretty regularly, and they sell for $10 to $15. But let's go into the recap. Okay, everybody, welcome to the end of the video here. We're going to do a little bit of a recap on a few items. But how cool was that, running into Matt, running into Kayla? Matt I have run into before, but Kayla, I mean, being from Kentucky, you don't really... some of these people you don't really anticipate ever seeing. And I was already caught off guard that day because that vendor that was there typically isn't there on Thursdays, and I don't usually anticipate seeing him. And he always has some great items. And then I was like really focused in on those minifigures. I was like, put those minifigures down. I was telling the guy, with my, put those minifigures down. And he never did. So I was like, I didn't even get to see what they were. But I did grab some great sets, at $5 a set. It's not bad. You always hear me say I'm always a Lego buyer, within reason. As long as the price is within reason, I'm always a Lego buyer. So, really cool to just run into them there. You always got to remember that they have no idea who you are. I'm just really a random guy, and they're inviting us, or I'm inviting you guys into, my life here, my reselling life. But really cool. You never know who you're going to run into at the flea market, or anywhere for that matter. So, like I said earlier in the video, we're going to do a little something different. So I got a wireless mic set up. So when I'm out there in the field, I'm out there at the flea markets, Goodwills, we're going to do more, hopefully just live commentary. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily live, but it's when I'm actually shooting the video, you'll get my actual commentary when I'm at the flea market or at the Goodwill. So we'll do a little bit more of that, see how that goes. A little less what do you call it? Voiceover. Obviously start off the video, introduce the video, but a little less voiceover. And we'll see how that goes. Just trying to improve videos, trying to help, just trying to help provide better content, I hope. And hopefully help you guys find great items. And, like I've said before, the sourcing is the number one. I mean, you need products. You need products to sell. And sourcing them is, the number one, is the way. That's what you're doing. You're sorting. You're picking up products to resell. So, and I'm probably not going to do like a whole recap. I'm going to try to get better and better at catching the moment when I'm of the items I'm actually picking up, and then I'll tell you guys what I pay for them and what I think they're going to go for. At the flea market, I tend to rely more on my just my knowledge base, and when I'm at the Goodwill, I tend to do more looking up. And basically, the reason is, flea market, there's so many people there, and it's so fast paced. You got to just go, 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 go. And plus, I already know I'm going to get great deals on items, so I kind of just don't hesitate to buy more at the flea market than I do at Goodwill. At Goodwill, like, I have time to think about it. At the flea market, I'm either don't have time to think about it, or it's like, it's going to be a great deal, so I'm just going to throw it in there anyway. Just like this Apple mouse. And so in regards to the recaps, I'm going to highlight some of the key items from the trips, the stuff you should be on the lookout for, because a lot of this stuff, like for me, this Apple stuff, this is like bread and butter stuff. This stuff I find all the time, and this is actually just it's a wireless. Takes a couple of the little back panel here on these. So if you find these, they're really good. $15 to $20. These little wireless mice, and they just have a little switch, obviously back here. They have a little this little hole right here is where it'll light up when it's on, but it has a little thing right here that you would push in, and then the flap kind of pulls up. It's always a little finicky. The newer, there we go. So that pops off, and then you have your two batteries in there. The newer models, actually, you plug in with a charge up with a lightning port. I don't know if those are the latest models or not, but those are the ones I'm finding out and about. But these ones still sell. Even the older Apple ones sell. Even the ones USB wired ones sell. Wireless keyboards sell. The wired keyboards sell. I got another wired keyboard over here. So a lot of the bread and butter stuff that I pick up all the time, it can get kind of repetitive. And I want to highlight some really key items that you should be on the lookout for. They'll get you great profit if you find them. So a lot of this bread and butter stuff really, really depends on where you're at, where you live too as well. I say this before, I'm right down the street. Apple headquarters isn't too far, so there's a lot of Apple products around here. There's a lot of tech stuff, so I find a lot of computer products. I find a lot of mice, keyboard, all that stuff. I find a lot of it because we're Silicon Valley here. That's the area I live in, and so maybe the area you live in, you find different stuff. You find other stuff that's more abundant where you live. Legos, I think I dropped a short the other day about Lego. Legos are something you can probably find pretty much everywhere. It's sold everywhere. It's Targets are everywhere. They have Legos. There's Lego stores scattered around. So that's something you can probably find just about everywhere. So definitely something to look out for. But can't get this lid back on. I don't know what happened. I hope I didn't. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right. So going forward, a little less voiceover, a little more, in the moment commentary. I'll have the wireless mic set up. I got it all going and working. The next video I'm going to release will probably be a Goodwill video, and I already started using the mic and everything, so we'll do that. I don't know why my phone picks up. That's so weird, but okay. So it'll probably be a Goodwill video, and I started testing out the mic and everything. I still have some old footage I am going to release, but I kind of want to see how the new setup works. But I was actually going to do that in this video, but the mic I grabbed wasn't charged yet. So I'm like, oh, of course, when I want to test something out, it just doesn't work. So either way, let's go ahead and highlight some items here. And I talked about that wine, or not wine, it's like a champagne brand. There's the name right there. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but there's the name to look out for. It's right there on the nylon. This little duffel bag, briefcase, wine carrier. I've never seen this size before. So here, let me open it up. Okay, it holds two. I think I said it holds 3, but it actually holds 2 bottles. 2 bottles of champagne and glasses. And this guy resells for last sold was $69.99 for this guy. So $69.99. pretty good item. I mean, it's going to be a bit, it's going to be a bit, it's going to take a bit to ship it out. It is long. It is, but it's pretty. It's got a nice, like, hard nylon shell to it. And there's really nothing breakable on it. I mean, these are nice, probably aluminum, I would think. I think they're aluminum. They look like aluminum. So nothing really breakable here. You could probably get away with putting two large padded bubble mailers, one on each side. I think I've talked about the size I get. It's like 14-inch by 20-inch. And you can probably put two of them on each side, tape it up really well so it doesn't come undone, and you can get that shipped out. But $70 for this guy. So, and I picked this up in a bundle. I got this, and I got the Apple mouse I just showed you. I grabbed... What else did I grab from there? I grabbed a couple other things. Another mouse, I believe. And, I got these two Bible things. Oh, yeah, let me look at these two Bible. I grabbed two Bible things. I got everything for $30. So, great deal. We're going to make great profit. My last video is saying how, like, I'm used to, like, big hits. And it's just because, or big scores. Not just because, of where I'm at, where I live at. There's so much here where I live at. And I'm fortunate to be able to do this in the area I'm doing it in. And one of the main reasons, too, is everything is within a 10-mile radius from me. All the stuff I get, I mean, you guys don't see it on camera, and I've been doing some cleaning, but, I mean, this is not my primary storage area. I do have some items stored down here, but my primary storage area is clean. Down here, it's another story. So, I mean, there's so much stuff here, and all this stuff I get is basically within a 10-mile radius of me. So I'm very fortunate. I know I watch Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, and it appears he lives somewhere really far where there's not really great Goodwills, not really great flea markets, so he heavily relies on garage sales. And so I don't have to. And garage sales in my area aren't necessarily the best. People tend to ask quite a bit, and it takes about 10 garage sales until I find something good. So, which is why I prefer flea market and Goodwills. Now, these are the Bibles. I got two of them. The two sets. You saw one. Let me pick up both. I think you saw me pick them up both in the video. But really great sellers. Brand new. They're like $30 to $40. Used, they're about $15 to $20 or so. Now they recharge. These are rechargeable, so they use a micro USB. So don't worry about the having to find any fancy chargers or anything like that. The one thing you do want to make sure is right here. This is a micro SD card that has the Bible on it. So make sure if that is empty, don't pick it up because we won't have the Bible on it. So you got to make sure you have that little SD card, so that way it will actually read you the Bible. So I got two of those. So that's like $30 right there. Great items that'll sell. And then the other item I wanted to show you guys here is actually two more items I wanted to show you. And then one item which I picked up at another trip I had. So this is a new keyboard to me, and you guys know I pick up keyboards. This is the keyboard I have picked up recently. I just got another one in. But this is the Logitech Ergo 860. So you may have seen this in the previous video or in a short I did. But great keyboard to pick up. Should sell for around $60 to $70. It's gone as high as $80. So great keyboard to look out for. It is Bluetooth. And one of the key features about this one here is it has 1, 2, 3. You can hook up to 3 devices to it. Now, this one here, which looks very similar, which caught my attention. I was like, what is that? That looks exactly like the Logitech one. It's actually a Microsoft Surface keyboard. Now, the problem with Microsoft, and I don't know if I've discussed this before on the video, Surface ergonomic keyboard. The problem with Microsoft is you need to have the wireless receiver or the dongle that goes with that keyboard. So, which is kind of annoying because that's the first thing to get lost is the little dongle. And then the keyboard is basically, useless. I don't know why they do that, but they do that. Logitech does have a what's called a unifying receiver, so you can connect multiple devices to one receiver. You can just go buy the receiver. Some of the devices actually come with a unifying receiver. A lot of their devices nowadays come with a unifying receiver. It wasn't, a thing several years ago. Okay, but back to the keyboards. This is a Microsoft Surface keyboard, and I was looking at it. I knew it wasn't Logitech. It had a different feel to it, and then you look at the back. It has a Microsoft logo on the back. And then really what I saw was that little button right there, and it has the Bluetooth symbol. So then I was like, all right, it's a Microsoft, it's Bluetooth, which means you're going to be able to hook it up to pretty much any Bluetooth device now. And I looked it up. Sure enough, this goes like about the same price, $60, $70, $80 or so for this keyboard here. So just a nice pickup. Oh, and I got it for $3, so $3. So it's something to look out for. So, I mean, you could pay... I mean, I'd be comfortable paying up to $20 for it, and you're still going to make some pretty good profit on that keyboard. Okay, then the last thing I want to show you from this trip here is this backpack here. Now, it's a vendor I deal with a lot, and I buy a lot from. I've actually kind of slowed down buying because she sells a lot of purses. You've probably seen it in the video. A lot of purses, wallets, and she has a lot of other stuff, but she always gets a lot of great purses. And so my purses haven't been moving as quickly as I would like them to move. They are moving, but they're not moving as quick. And it could be just, seasonal. Come springtime, or as we get closer to spring, we'll probably see a lot more purses, bags move. But right now, I'm not seeing them move as well as I would like to, I should say. They are moving, but not as at the speed I would like them to move at. So I've been slowing down my buying on purses, and what you need to be doing is paying attention to the trends. Especially if you've been at eBay for a little bit already, you can start to see the trends, the yearly trends, like what categories go up, what categories go down, if you're in multiple categories. And so you got to pay attention to that. But here's sometimes a brand doesn't even matter. It's just the brand is just highly desirable. Here's a highly desirable brand in a highly desirable print. It's a camouflage. I hope it's coming through on the camera there. But this is a Lululemon. So, incredibly popular brand. The clothing isn't doing as good as it used to, but still a great, recognizable brand. And this is a backpack, camouflage. This should sell for around $70 to $80. We picked it up. We did pay up a little bit for it. It was $20, but we're going to make some great profit. It's an easy shipper, too. Just throw us in a poly bag. Again, nothing breakable here. It folds up. It doesn't really, just kind of, you fold it in on itself and get that shipped really easily. And if you price it right, it should sell very quickly too. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, this wasn't a from this trip, but again, it's another $3 item. Plantronics, also known as Poly now, but they make headsets. Let me make sure, yeah, still in there. Just want to make sure because this one comes with a dongle, but it doesn't need a dongle, but it helps to have the dongle with it. So. If it comes with a dongle, I prefer to sell it with the dongle. So this is oh shoot, is that brand new? I didn't even know this, but this is actually probably like new. This is new with tags. I didn't realize the tag was still attached to it, but it is. Okay, this is a headset. This is a headset for a computer. It's also Bluetooth. I repeated myself. That wasn't the video. But you can hook it up to your phone. You can hook it up to multiple devices, whatever you want, whatever you want to do. Really cool headset. And Plantronics or Poly. It also comes with a little dongle here. This is the dongle for it. It's probably a. I have a similar headset, and I hooked it up to Bluetooth, and it works great. But it actually, when I had to sync it and everything, but when I used the actual adapter, I didn't need to do anything. I just plugged in the adapter and it just worked right off the bat. So it helps, like I said, helps to have the dongle. But this guy right here will sell for about $60 to $70. Look out for these ones, not the wired ones. There's a lot of USB wired versions of this Plantronics or Poly, and they don't really do too good. They will sell, but they'll sell for like $10 to $15, the wired. And I find them all the time, and usually I find them, they want $5 to $6, and I can't pay that. But these wireless ones, right there, you're looking up over $40, $50, $60, $70. The one I use is a little bit more of an updated version. That one goes for close to $100. And then I just had another one that I gave to my wife, which actually had like a little base station with it. This one you don't need a base station, though. I had one with a base station, and that one I believe sells for like $60. So look out for these. They're just headsets. A lot of people just think they're just, normal headphones, so you can get away with, paying. I basically paid what she asked. She asked for $3. Did I say $3? Was it $3? I think it was $3. She asked $3, and I said, okay, I'll do it. There we go. We got a great deal there. Let me get the case down here, Phil. Okay, but I hope you guys liked the video. Of course, I'm gonna put Matt and Kayla in my title. I'm gonna put their names and their channels in my title to get more views. Of course, got to take advantage of the situation when it arises. But I hope you guys like the stuff I picked up. I hope you guys like the style of video. Like I said, we're gonna move to a little bit more, in the moment live commentary, and a little less. What do you call it? I keep messing up. A little less. I can't even remember. I can't even think right now. But a little less of the style I'm doing now, and a little bit more of just. You'll hear the sights and sounds of the flea market. You'll hear me and my thoughts and my thought process as I'm going over all the products, stuff I'm picking up to put in my eBay store. And everything I pick up, everything I buy, unless I tell you otherwise, will go into the store and get sold. Poshmark or eBay primarily, or Poshmark if it's clothing and shoes. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I hope everybody's making sales. I know. It's been a little slower than normal with the start to the year, but it is the start to the year. It's right after all the holidays. Things were looking pretty good this week. Things kind of picked up. Don't get discouraged out there by anybody that's, out there, in, YouTube world or wherever you get your content from. Sales are still happening, and if you get great items that people want, you'll still make sales. You're going to hear a lot of people talk about eBay's changing. eBay wants you to do this. eBay wants you to do this. 24 years. 24 years on eBay. I'm not saying that just to, I'm not saying that to be, think I'm some, eBay master, because I'm not, because I'm always learning. But 24 years on eBay. I've seen so many changes on the platform. So many changes. And every time the change, everybody's, like doom and gloom, no, that's it. But it's not. It's still here. I hear people talk about, let's all go to Amazon. Amazon's the #1 competitor. Yeah, but what are the top things that are selling on Amazon? What do you buy on Amazon regularly? I buy groceries on Amazon a lot. I'm not selling, and eBay's not a grocery store, or, we buy a lot of like cables and stuff, and I try not to sell too many cables and everything on eBay, because I know a lot of that stuff people just buy on Amazon dirt cheap. I buy all my cables and everything on Amazon dirt cheap. Which is why you don't see me source just random cables. I'll look for unique OEM or original manufacturers products, and I'll find those and try to sell those on eBay. I won't sell like generic just cords on eBay or power adapters. So just got to think through it. Just think through it logically. Think through the whole process logically. eBay is still here. It's still a great place for the items that I like to source and the items that I enjoy. I just don't like sourcing them. These are, like I've said it before, and it's in it's somewhere on one of my profiles. All these items I would keep myself. I do keep a lot of items. I keep a lot of the Legos, even though I say a lot of this stuff goes up for sale. Most Legos do not. Most stuff does not. As a matter of fact, the Plantronic stuff, like the stuff that I use, and the one I gave to my wife, some of these keyboards I find, I keep for myself, because I like all the stuff I'm buying. I'm not buying stuff I don't necessarily like. Sometimes it's, occasionally there will be the, I'm buying it because it's great profit, but most of the time, 99% of the time, it's stuff that I like. Do I like champagne? Sometimes I actually do like champagne. Actually, I prefer prosecco when it comes to the sparkling wine, I should say. Sparkling wine. Little, I don't know if anybody's interested in my... I don't know if anybody cares or anything like that, but prosecco, champagne, those are sparkling wines. So champagne is basically a sparkling wine from Champagne, France, and prosecco is a sparkling wine from Prosecco. So when you see the name like champagne and like them, it's just that's where it's originating from. But all it is a sparkling wine, a wine that's been for lack of a better words, carbonated. But there's like a natural process to actually do it. There's plenty of channels on YouTube to describe all that. But that's a little tidbit of knowledge that's randomly floating around in my brain. But I appreciate all the new subscribers. We are growing. The channel's growing. I want to thank you guys out there for subscribing. I hope you guys like the content. I hope I'm always providing something of use for you out there. I know some people watch it for entertainment. Some people watch it. Some people are resellers and watching. And, if you're getting great entertainment out of it, I hope I'm trying to provide the best entertainment. If you're here to learn about products, what to get, what to buy, how to maneuver through stores or flea markets, I hope I'm providing great content for you guys. You guys are learning something from these videos. Again, we're going to stick to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. It's doing pretty well. I'm able to get videos out. I hope the new style does really well. Definitely go check out, if you don't already, check out Matt at Part-Time Pickers and Kayla at the Homeschooling Picker. Both, two channels that we watch pretty regularly when they release. And so just really cool to run into these people here, and just fortunate to live in an area where we get so much stuff, and a lot of these people visit here because a lot of the major YouTube, where this video is going. YouTube is here. It's up the freeway. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if you want to get notified of upcoming videos. Links are down below. The other channel, if you want any shipping help, I got some shipping videos out there. And Instagram is down there. Instagram is down there as well too. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next video. Hi everybody, welcome to the video, and welcome to Goodwill. I was looking to get one of my newer audio, my wireless audio mic videos out today, but I made a mistake and I didn't record it in stereo on my GoPro, so that next video will be out probably. I'll have to go out. Actually, I'll have to go out, probably create a new video for that one on Wednesday. However, I still have some old footage here. I mean, this isn't that old. I mean, this is all from this month here in January. And this is a Goodwill I don't frequent that often. It's in Campbell, California. Kind of like a little side city here to San Jose. It's small, but they still get some great stuff. As a matter of fact, I pulled some great golf clubs out of this Goodwill. Really great golf clubs. Nike ones, Titleist, the major name brands. Other Goodwills, I don't know. This Goodwill seems to get really good golf clubs. The other ones, not really. Not all the time, I should say. But no golf clubs on this trip, though. But we do tend to venture out to the surrounding little cities here, like Campbell, on the weekends when we have a little bit more extra time. And, we just go out to basically just scope them out and do some more recon and see, if it's, viable to add to our, regular routine. There are some Goodwill regulars here that we, visit all the Goodwills. We run into them all the time. This is a really cool John Deere mug. It's not worth reselling. I looked at a comp that said it was close to $20, but I think it was just like a one-off. And so, yeah, I'll go in the cart, but that's going to be a keeper there. But it was a cool mug. You know, it's a nice mug, and it holds a lot of coffee. Especially for those, you know, those mornings where it's just rough and you need that extra bit of coffee. That's a great mug for it. And we're scoping out. Oh man, this was messed up. I picked up that little dagger. It was actually like it was actually a perfume bottle, Avon perfume bottle, and it had leaked on my hand. I carry little glasses or lens cleaner, and I also, you know, just carry extras just in case, you know, I need to clean my hands or anything like that. And in this instance, I ended up using it to help clean my hand, but the fragrance was strong and it stayed with me the whole trip. So be careful. Be careful when you're picking up perfume. I mean, I didn't know it was a perfume bottle, but be careful when you're picking up perfume bottles. Marie Callender's. This was a great restaurant here in San Jose. I don't know if it was, you know, anywhere else, but I asked my wife if we should get it or not. They had the best. Well, when I was little, we would all get the salad bar, and they had an amazing salad bar and cornbread. Oh man, they would have the most. You know, a lot of restaurants, they bring you bread. They brought you cornbread at Marie Callender's with butter. Oh, it was so good. Sadly, they're all closed. I don't know if there's any other Marie Callender's anywhere else, but they all closed in our area. Tiki mugs do really well. Not so much the clear ones. There are some clear ones though that are Disney, so definitely look out for them. And as a matter of fact, you know, just look up for tiki mugs in general. They'll pretty much go for around $15 or so. So you don't want to spend too much on them. This right here, this is a souvenir piece from Alcatraz, and Alcatraz is over in San Francisco, just up north of us. And I've sold the mugs. They have these little souvenir mugs with the same, you know, souvenir Alcatraz, kind of simulate what the prison used to serve prisoners in. And so I've sold those mugs for $12 to $15, and that serving tray should go for right around $30 is what we're looking at. That looked like a I think it was missing the cover for the cigar. It was a cigar and flask combo. Circling back to the tiki mugs, there are some tiki mugs to really look out for, some brands to really look out for. Disney actually makes some amazing. I was just talking about the clear ones, but there are some actual ceramic or pottery style tiki mugs, limited edition ones. Look out for them. They're going to be. They're really easy to spot, and of course they'll say Disney on the bottom. I mean, we collect them, and I believe you can only get them at Trader here in California Disneyland. It's at Trader Sam's. A little tiki bar. It's on site at Disneyland Hotel, and so we always, I've talked about the Disney stuff. When we go pretty often, and we always like to get the little souvenirs. They're just like those. Not so much the in the stores, because some of that stuff some of that stuff is just mass produced, and we see it all the time. But some of the more like one-offs, like the souvenir popcorn buckets, the souvenir tiki mugs, and a lot of those tend to hold value as well too. So keep your eye out for those on the shelves of any Goodwill savers, wherever you're sourcing. This, I believe, was a juicer. The motor part of a juicer, and it's a good brand to look out for. I'm going to put it in the cart, but I am going to try to test it later. I don't know if it required the actual upper part of it to work. I know some of them kind of have safety mechanisms, so they won't turn on unless everything's, you know, everything's put together. So I tried to test it out there while I was on there. It didn't work, so I'm just going to leave it behind. I don't know if it works or not works, so I'm going to leave it back on the shelves. I don't really deal too much in appliances, but so I tend to pass them up. These are portable, basically mini cellular routers. They allow you to connect to the internet through a cellular connection, so you would have to activate them. Some of them can be worth it. I was gonna put this in the cart and just look it up. Generally, the more modern ones would be worth it. And actually, I found one time that was, I'm not sure which Goodwill I was at, but I found one of those and it was still active. So it was kind of, be careful. Make sure you deactivate your devices before you donate them, or, you know, you stash them away to eventually get donated. Now, this is a pretty good score here. These are Plantronics. Plantronics? Yeah, I believe they're Plantronics. They're headsets. For phones. And so wireless headsets. There were actually three boxes there, and I've actually already sold these. All three of them went, and they all sold for or they each sold for $75. So that was a pretty good pickup, a pretty good score to find here. So keep your eye out for these headsets. I believe I dropped a short video not too long ago about some other Bluetooth Plantronics or Poly, either Plantronics or Poly. Plantronics, I think, is their older name. They're Poly now, so look out for those headsets. The wireless ones are the ones you want to look out for. The wired ones are kind of, they're okay. They'll be like $10 to $15. Wireless is where you want to go. This Lego set appeared to all be complete in there, but I was going to look it up just to be safe. It's not something that I would normally, you know, I always say I'm always a Lego buyer, but I'm not really into, like, I'm not really a car guy, and so I'm not really into, you know, all the cars necessarily. And so if something's open like that, I'm going to definitely take a second look at it. Some of them can be worth it. I know I found a Lego Speed Champion one not too long ago. Actually had a garage sale for $2. Ended up selling for quite a bit, like $120. So, and Legos are easy to look up. Lego, and then they have a set number. Easy. Now, in the back of my mind here, when I'm walking through this section, I found some really great Brighton purses at this Goodwill. And Brighton is a brand to look out for. And I found them right here in this section here. Some really nice high-end ones that have sold for over $100. And I find them here for about right around $15-ish or so. So you never know where the profit is going to be lying in the Goodwill. Here's their golf clubs. Now, I'm not really a great golf club buyer or a great golf club person. I don't even like golf. But I look out for the major brands, and they're usually pretty easy to look up. They'll have the model numbers on them and everything. And Nike is always good to look up and look out for, just because Nike's popular and they stopped making Nike golfing equipment. I sold a Nike bag just recently locally for I think it was $70. Some carts came out, so definitely going to scope that out. There were some shoes that were fairly clean, but I think they wanted 16, and they would go for about 30 to 40. Fairly common, like Nike Pegasus. So nothing is spectacular in the shoe area, but I was going to put them in the cart and look them up later, but I'm not going to take any shoes on this trip here. But I am happy with the wireless headsets. I think there were. We're gonna do a recap at the end. I'm gonna do that picture-in-picture again at the end of this video, but that'll probably be the end of picture-in-picture, unless anybody still likes it out there. Like I said in the previous video, I'm gonna move to more of a kind of recap in stores. You'll hear my live commentary in stores, and just kind of highlight some of the key items at the end. But that's the end of the video. We'll go to the recap. Hi everybody, welcome to the end of the video. We are going to do a little bit of a recap. I'm still going to do the little picture-in-picture in this video, but in future videos we will be doing more in the store audio. Maybe a little bit of voiceover once in a while, just in case, or if there's too much music or something. And then we'll do a little recap in stores as opposed to at the end. It'll be more like towards the end of the video, but it won't be like this. And I was going to have one of those videos ready to go today, but the content I shot over the weekend, it was on the mics were on single channel, so it would only come out of one speaker, so that's kind of weird. I know I don't like that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't like that as well too. But I appreciate all the new subscribers. I'm going to do a little introduction just of myself, me, and what to expect from the channel to all the new subscribers. And I want to appreciate all the subscribers, everybody watching the last video. I know it's because Matt and Kayla run the video. Matt I've run into before. He's just up north, up the freeway from me. And Kayla, I mean, this is her... he said it was the first time in California, so really cool getting the chance to run into them there at the flea market. And... yeah, let's get to the recap right now. It's going to pop up right over here on this side. It'll be like a little picture-in-picture. Again, this will probably be the last picture-in-picture one we do. Recap like this style. So, right off the bat, we got, you'll see the tin, you'll see the mug. The mug is not going to be a resellable mug. It could resell for maybe about $5, $10. The one comp I saw in stores was really, it was a one-off, so. But a really cool mug overall. I mean, it's John Deere. Green's my favorite color. Again, my intro, part of my intro of me. And it's a large mug. Like I said earlier, if you want just a lot of coffee, it's a great mug for that. So that's what I'm going to be using it for. Is one of those days when I need a double dose of coffee, that's the mug I'm using. USP Alcatraz, so just replica of what they would have used at the prison in Alcatraz. Probably unique to our area. I mean, you'll probably find it elsewhere, but, Alcatraz, again, that's right up the freeway from us. And this tray should go for about $30-ish or so, maybe $25, $30 for that tray. So not a bad pickup. Super lightweight, too, and easy to store, easy to ship. Then these little trinket boxes, we've got two of these Panda trinket boxes. One of these already sold for $18, and they're art form. A lot of them are that brand. You'll see art form on them. I actually accidentally ripped off the sticker that said art form when I took the price tag off. But just enameled, really heavy weight. It seems like they would go for a lot more. They are really cool. We pick them up all the time, and they generally sell around the $15-ish range. But just really cool little trinket boxes. And we pick them up. We buy them all the time. Really cool little paperweight here. Just like a little puck style, just small glass. It's got kind of an aquatic theme to it. It was hand blown. You can see by the bottom. It has a little rough. If I remember correctly, it's called the pommel, with the part that connects to the actual device where you blow the glass. So just a really cool little piece. Small, lightweight. It's easy to ship, easy to store. It'll probably sell for around $15, what we're looking at. No exact comps on that one. I was just showing you that we got two of those Pandas. There were two of them. And in the video I said I didn't pick up any shoes, but on the way out, I saw these Vans. And these are platform Vans. So they have like the double, the bottom is kind of like double size. And it's got a really cool psychedelic tie-dye pattern to it. Kind of like galaxy pattern, space pattern. So those go for right around $40. So we definitely went ahead and scooped those up. They should sell really fast. Those are going to go into our Poshmark store. But just a nice pair of Vans. And Vans aren't necessarily a pickup. You should be picking up all the time if you're reselling. They usually price them up, and they're going to go for around $20 or $30. And like I said, the big hit of the day were these wireless headsets. They already sold. They sold for $75 a piece. and they all sold to one person. So that was really nice to be able to just box them all up in one and send them on their way. They were all complete, practically brand new condition. They still had the little plastic tear, you know, on the on some of the what do you call it, the shinier part of the plastic. So those were really cool to find. They were about 12, let's just say $12 each. So we made some pretty good profit on those. And so that's the recap of the video. Now, for those of you that are just joining the channel, my name is Gilbert, San Jose, California. That is where I live. That is where I thrift. I'm very fortunate in the area that I live in because within a 10-mile radius, you know, I can hit flea market, you know, one of the largest flea markets in the area. We got Goodwill. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think. Wait, 1, 2, 3. I think 4 Goodwills are within the 10 miles. One might be just outside of that 10 miles. Some thrift stores. So, and that's where I do all of my thrifting, is within just my area. So I'm very fortunate to be here, to be so close. You know, some people have asked me, you know, what's your breakdown of cost? You know, well, how much gas do you use? I mean, I don't use very much because it's not, everything's right there. Even the post office is right down the street from me. So, that's where I am. I'm here in San Jose, and I know there are some fellow San Jose people now watching the channel. Thank you very much. Me, I'm a huge nerd, I guess, for lack of better words. Big Star Wars fan, but actually a bigger Star Trek fan. A lot of people don't realize. I grew up watching Star Trek. Star Wars, yes, I love the movies, I love the stuff, but I love the toys more from Star Wars, because I had a lot of those toys when I was a kid. When it comes to Star Trek, I didn't have any toys. There were no Star Trek toys that I ever had. And but I loved the shows, and I would rewatch them all the time. So when it comes to like movies and shows, huge Star Trek fan. When it comes to toys and everything, huge Star Wars fan. And if you see some of my, you know, my last video, you saw me pick up Legos. I'm a huge Lego collector. I got tons of Legos, and I'm always a Lego buyer if for the right price. I'm not gonna necessarily overspend on Legos. Huge tech guy. I love tech. A lot of tech stuff. I sell a lot of keyboards, mice. I find them all the time. They're, you know, what we call in the business the bread and butter, the stuff that just moves. It's not, you know, it's not like you buy it for $1, you sell it for $200. You're more like picking it up for $1, selling it for 15, 20, 30, and that's stuff that just moves all the time for me. What else? I like pottery. I like glassware. I have a decanter collection. I am a whiskey collector as well too. Shoe collector. I mean, I collect a little bit of everything. You know, I really like. If I like it, I'll collect it. Huge baseball fan. You know, I grew up watching the Oakland A's. I remember the huge event, 1989 World Series. I was in my bed watching the World Series when the big earthquake happened here in the Bay Area. If you are from the Bay Area, you will remember that. But I like all baseball teams. You know, I have my Yankees. I love the Yankees. I mean, I love Oakland A's, the Braves. Greg Maddux, one of my favorite pitchers of all time. Favorite player of all time, Frank Thomas. Chicago White Sox. Then he did come to the Oakland A's too as well. I love vintage 80s. Right now, I'm huge into collecting stuff from my childhood. Toys I had when I was little. If you guys remember, I think it was McDonald's. They had these Christmas Muppets, baby Muppets. And I remember I had the Fonzie, the Fonzie, the TV show, not TV show, Fozzie. I had the Fozzie, and I really love that thing to death. And I recently did find it brand new in the package. It's stuffed away. I would bring it out, but it's stuffed away somewhere in my collection right now. So I collect a little bit of everything, and I buy and sell a little bit of everything because that's what I like. We have everything here from, we have horror stuff, Friday the 13th, slasher movies. We have Nintendo stuff, Nintendo plush and everything right here. I have my keyboard. I love my keyboards. If you see any of my old videos, I'm a huge, computer peripheral nut. I love, I have all my different mice. I use, 3 different mice on my computers. I use 3 different keyboards. One of them was a half keyboard. So I'm just a nut like that. But either way, I'm going to show you guys a couple of pieces that recently sold for me that are really cool. And I'll show you a really cool glass decanter as well too. But let me see here. Oh, we're also huge Disney fans as well too. Huge Disney fans. We go to Disneyland about 2 times a year. Used to go more, but as the kids get older, you know, it's kind of tough pulling them out of school and stuff like that. You know, it's not, because we like to go during the off time when it's not so busy or crazy there. So we try to avoid summers. We try to avoid the major holidays like Christmas, but you got to go see the decorations. And then grad night. One thing to realize, if you are Disneyland fans, and I don't know if they do this in Disney World, I'm pretty sure they do this in Disney World too, but grad night, when graduations start coming, do not go to Disneyland. We've had the park shut down, where you couldn't even get in because of so many people there. So we love Disney. Huge Disney fans. I collect all kinds of Disney stuff as well too. As a matter of fact, we just got a popcorn bucket and I threw it up in a short. So I got a popcorn bucket in the collection as well too. Huge Nightmare Before Christmas fans as well. Boom. Got that hat. Just picked that up. Got tons of Christmas, Halloween decorations. Obviously everything's taken down right now. We're in January right now. Okay, but let me just show you guys a couple of really cool pieces. And all this stuff I buy, we buy, me, my wife buy, all this stuff we would keep ourselves. I mean, this is stuff that we are buying and selling stuff that we like and that we would keep. And let me tell you something, we keep a lot of stuff. Right off the bat here, this one I got back in back in December. This is a really cool little pottery pig. I mean, take a look at the colors on that. Just a really nice glaze on that. It's got the blue with, it's kind of like more like a turquoise with the contrast against the brown here. It's really cool. It's a piggy bank. Really cool. 1957. Just amazing. Like, this thing survived so many years. And great. I mean, obviously the cork's going to get dried out and crusty and stuff like that. Pretty much unavoidable. But there's not even any crazing. Now, crazing is when the glaze kind of cracks. It's not necessarily a crack in the actual pottery. It's the glaze that starts cracking. And that's caused by constant... by sudden cold heat, cold heat, and typically happens a lot like in mugs and stuff, because a lot of people put them in the dishwasher, and the dishwasher has a really harsh heat sometimes. So you go from a sudden chill to a heat, and then it causes these little cracks in the glaze. So there's nothing in this, so it's really cool. Generally, when you find a lot of this old stuff, there's always something wrong with it. But 1957, Quirky Pig, sold for $35. It sold for as high as $50, but I think this was a $3 fine back in December. So really cool piece here. Another really cool glass piece here, and we also collect a lot of glass. Like I always say, we always collect a lot. We collect a lot of stuff, and we do collect a lot of glassware. We have a lot of glasses, really cool, fancy ones. But this one here we did sell. This is, if you can see that, it has a rose pattern all the way around it. And it's got a lot of Fenton or Indiana glass vibes going with it. But this is from the Madonna Inn in California. Pretty famous hotel. All the rooms are themed. But they make these specialty cups, souvenir cups. They make larger ones too. And they're made by different... I think Fenton probably makes some of them, but they contract with different makers and they release these. They're usually limited releases. I remember when I got the orange one. The orange one sold almost immediately for $40. This one sold for $20. It's a more common color, so it's not a... the orange was really, really not common. $23. So this sold for $23. And we did pay up for these a little bit. I think these were, if I remember correctly, $7. I think they were $7.59. So a little bit much for glassware that we typically glassware is right around the $2, maybe $5 range on the high end at our Goodwills. But we couldn't turn that down. I mean, these Madonna Inn glasses are really cool, really nice glassware. Pretty thick glass too as well. So keep your eye out for those. Another sale as well too. Everybody knows about Starbucks mugs and the location ones. Some of the best ones are outside of our country. I sold one from Moscow, and that one went for, I think it was $120 for that mug. So keep your eye out for definitely the Starbucks ones, but also keep your eye out for Pete's Coffee mugs. Pete's Coffee, this is Los Angeles, California. While they don't go for as much as some of the Starbucks ones do, this one here sold for $20. So picked up for, this was $2.59 at our Goodwill, and sold for $20. The one I sold recently that was that did really well, I think it sold for $45, was actually one from Berkeley, California. So not sure, you know, I would think Berkeley will be a little bit more obscure, but Berkeley is associated with UC. That's where UC California is, or the Golden Bears. If you guys are into college football, or you know, college sports for that matter, I should say. But look out for these ones too. And I don't think these are, you know, I don't think it's like international. I think it's just here within the U.S. So, a few cool pickups. These are going out the door. I'm going to finish packaging everything up, and I got to go over to the post office, and then I'm going to go over to Goodwill. I'm going to shoot some more footage now that I fixed my mic setup. It was just a simple setting I had to change. I didn't realize I have to change it, but I did. So that's all ready to go, and we should be, we keep a schedule. My schedule since the beginning of the year is to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, drop these long-form content videos, and then I drop shorts throughout the week. Pretty much, I try to do about 3 shorts a day, just cool, unique stuff, cool finds, or just cool sales, high-dollar sales, you know, the big bolo hits, so that way everybody out there, if you guys are resellers, you guys can find this stuff too. And if you guys are here for entertainment, I hope I'm providing great entertainment for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. Again, I appreciate all the new subscribers. Appreciate all the likes, comments. If you guys want to get notified, hit the bell. Hit the like button if you like it. Dislike if you don't. Subscribe if you like the content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Like I said, next video will be the new in-store audio. I hope I got everything right. I'll catch you guys in the next one.